Hey, what's up, YouTube world? How's everybody doing tonight? Sunday night at the Italia Hangout is the first episode of this all inclusive show that we got going on. So, what I want to kind of do here is I want to just kind of have like a hangout for the community. I'm going to try different times, different days, see what works out best for everybody. But I just want to, have a place where we could kind of just kick back, have some fun. If we want to talk arm wrestling, we talk arm wrestling. If we want to talk about other topics, that's fine as well. I know most of my shows are all serious and all. So I want to kind of show like the more fun side and kind of just open it up to everybody and let everybody come on and kind of hang out and, let's just shoot the shit, so to say. So tonight's main topic that we're going to be talking about is how to get arm wrestling in the mainstream. And like I said, if you have other topics you want to bring up, if you want to talk about some events coming up, that's more than welcome in here. So, share it around on all your social platforms. Let everybody know they're invited. I put out the link already on my Facebook. I'll be putting the link in the chat, Drew24. If you're in there, just please share the link so that everybody could pop on and come and hang out tonight, man. So that's the main thing here. And then also, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click that thumbs up so we get in the algorithm. I'm going to be doing a lot of new content and, I kind of been slacking. I only been doing the arm wrestling buzz show every Wednesday night, but now I'm going to get a little more active on YouTube and all. So with that being said, I'd like to bring in a couple of the people that are here ready to hang out. What's up, Stephanie? How
I'm
you doing?
driving. I'm a few minutes away from my hot spot where I'm going to sit down and chat with you. So maybe I can talk until I get there.
Hell yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
So we got everybody. We got Austin Collins in the room. We got Greg Brown. We got the 98 Ryan Grant in here. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
If I knew Greg was going to be here, I would have not come on.
And I'm out here trying to convince people to go to Winter Blast because 583 entries.
So what's up, Austin? How you doing, brother? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Good. Can y'all hear me okay?
Hear you loud and clear, brother. Loud and clear.
I got my son's TV in the background, so I'm trying not to have no background noise. So if there's any issues, y'all just let me know. But I've answered your question. I'm doing good. Just healing up for the 26th. Just hit my last heavy session yesterday. So then I got the match in about, I'm driving up not next Wednesday, but the next. So
you got to let everybody know who the match is. It's with Steve.
Oh,
Lockton.
yeah. I'm pulling Stephen Loxton for 1,000 for he's putting up his rank and I'm putting up a G.
Oh, that's a good one, bro. Hell yeah.
So,
Freddie Sanchez just stepped in the house, flossing those guns over there. What's up, Freddie?
Freddie.
What's up, guys? I miss you. I miss you guys so much. Good to be here. Good Sunday night today, boys.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So what's going on in your neck of the woods over there? Where you over in Texas right now?
El Paso, Texas. Yes, sir. I just came back from Colorado, actually, but not because I competed or anything, because I went to a wedding. But Nadia, just trying to recover from these injuries that I got, man. Just the tendinopathy and my elbows just been nagging at me, but definitely getting a lot better. The problem I have now is I injured my back deadlifting, but I haven't been lifting for like 2 weeks. But I feel a lot better now. I have a scheduled super match in Mexico, in Piedras Negras, December 7th. I'm gonna pull 2 different guys, right and left hand. So let's see how that goes. Get back into the water and see what's up.
Well, you better get healed up, brother. You need to just take some time off, do whatever you got to do because you're always getting injuries. And then I hear you're doing deadlifts and shit. You got to relax, bro. Just stay out of the gym for a couple of weeks.
I know, bro. I know it's hard for me, but yeah, I've learned to take it easy and rest a little bit. I haven't been resting in years, but yeah, I've been resting and I've been getting a lot better. But yeah, the deadlift really messed me up. Like it hurts even just to sit down or lay down. But thank God I'm doing better now. I went to Juarez and I got like a steroid injection in my back, like lower back, for inflammation, and it's been helping. So hopefully it wasn't anything serious, just a muscle.
Hell yeah. So, Greg, you just heard that Austin Collins over here has got a big match coming up. It's October 26th, is it, Austin, or 27th? 26th?
It's the 26th. It's at that BMF event that
So, Greg, I got to ask you, what's your prediction, man? Him going against Steve Loxton and all.
Honestly, bro, I don't know who that is.
All right,
How
all right.
much
Well,
is the match for?
You don't know who Steve Loxton is?
That's Bill Loxton's son, brother. Famous Bill
No idea.
Loxton from Game of Arms.
he beat John Terrian about a year ago at Masha Factory.
Oh, wow. You're going against somebody that beat John Terrian? You're probably strong as fuck.
I do okay.
Steel hands.
Austin's a big boy, man. He's got some long levers, and he pulls.
Where are
with some
you
really good pullers.
from? Where do you pull?
Make it short, but I'm from Florida. I don't know if you've ever heard of Wilton Brock. He's a world-class left-handed guy. He's really strong right. He got me into it. I live in Alabama now, so I'm in the lower Alabama. I train with the Bishop guys and Wilton. I got a couple guys I've been pretty active with. I guess since you don't know me, a little background, I just got second at the East vs. West tournament for the pro class when that event was going on. Then I was on the hook for like a day until some other updates got done for it because I beat Craig Solbier in a super match back in June.
Nice.
And that's when I was still 220s. So I feel pretty good leading up. I know Steven's smart, but yeah, I know the John Terrian right now. Let me just be respectful towards John. He wouldn't beat the John right now. I will say that. I think the John then, from my inside sources, I think he was a little something was going on. So I don't know. I'm not trying to take anything away, but I've talked to a couple people, and the John now versus the John a year ago are two different people.
Yeah, I told him at Winter Blast.
Hold on, Chris.
Like, don't let my arm off.
Chris, you got to do something with that noise, brother. It's really, really bad. Every time I unmute you, it's like you're making a lot of feedback over there. Do you know what it is, brother?
It's probably all the people around me, I guess.
Okay, where are you right now?
In like an internet cafe kind of place. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be way quieter.
Gotcha.
Big mistake.
Where are you located? I know you're in Florida, but what part? Are you South Florida?
Yeah, South Florida.
Very nice.
Actually, I'm in Davie, actually, where Andre Shark trains.
Oh, nice, bro. So just for you guys that don't know, I think Chris has been getting together and with his family over there, and I think you guys been throwing on some great events down in South Florida recently.
Yeah, we had a really nice one in September. Muscle Mayhem. It's a really good turnout. We're doing another one in October. October 26th at the Retreat Combo Lounge. It's called Halloween Arm Havoc. It's gonna be pretty good.
What town's that gonna be going down in?
I'm sorry, say again.
What area is that tournament going down October 26th?
That's gonna be in Pompano Beach, Lighthouse Point.
Very nice, bro. I'm happy to see that you got a bunch of stuff going down in South Florida. Really good, really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So we're gonna put you on mute. If you got to say something, raise your hand or whatever. This way I can unmute you. It's really, really loud with that feedback over there. So what's up, fellas? I wanted to kind of keep the topic. We could go and hit on anything, but I wanted to just come up with some ideas of how to make arm wrestling more mainstream, because I just feel like the formula we've been doing and with all the setups and how long it's taken, and it's just not working for the non-arm wrestlers. They're getting bored, they're not really understanding it. So just want to throw some ideas around there, and what can we do different? Try something that hasn't been done. What's up, Austin?
I tell you, it's funny you say that. Like I said, that's why I just want to raise my hand, because I'm bad about interrupting sometimes. But it's funny. So I just got in with a actual Crunch, and he's a part of the corporation, like the actual, not just a single property. And turns out the guy actually came down and watched the first East First West event in Orlando and watched the whole tournament. And I happened to have my shirt on and they're working out. Turns out he runs like almost a quarter of the Southeast facilities. And he told me, he just asked about, hey, TikToks, YouTube, he knows of Devon and stuff like that. But the people that are just staying consistent with it, kind of like when you post stuff all the time, he knew of like a couple, even names I was surprised he didn't know of. But just stuff like that. Like I've already got emails, their reps, their team stuff like that, looking up setting events in the future, like hosting big practices. I've already had like 5 or 6 guys from their staff looking to get into it. So I would say stuff like that, you know, being off the wall, but don't be scared to take that extra. Almost everybody's like, oh yeah, I don't do social media. Well, you ain't gonna grow if you ain't gonna do something different. So, you know, and I know they seen how many views and how many people were at the Orlando event, and he's trying to get into it. And that's a lot of deep pockets will crunch as well.
Hell yeah. But the thing that I keep coming across is, you know, they're starting to know about arm wrestling. It's just when we're throwing these huge events and, you know, we got like 15 matches and they're going on for like 7-8 hours. I mean, I'm a diehard arm wrestling fan and I love it. But even those events, they're getting so long that it's like, you know, I'm losing attention. And I'm just saying to myself, if I'm not feeling it, somebody that's obsessed with arm wrestling, what is a non-arm wrestler thinking? You know what I mean? And where do you guys think is the sweet spot? Like, how long should an event be? And how do we like we got to figure out something with the setups, man, because, you know, a couple minutes of fighting and going back and forth and before they even say go, we're losing a lot of interest, you know. And let me give an example, was that last King of Table. You know, what were you guys' thoughts on that whole situation?
Can you hear me all right?
Hear you loud and clear, Greg.
Give me a sec, guys. I'm just figuring out my audio.
All right.
I think that everything needs to change with how people arm wrestle to adopt a new system. Like maybe no ref. Maybe it's a ref with a camera that has a green button and a red button. 2 people walk up to the table and there's like a 10-second timer, you know, like Mario Kart. It's like beep, beep, boom. You know what I mean?
I like that.
And that's it. And then it's like, oh, well, he went first or he slipped. And I'm like, people got TikTok brain, bro. Like, are we going to fucking do this or not? Just grip it and rip it. Like, you look at all YouTube algorithms, bro. If you can hold somebody there for 5 seconds, you're like 70% better than everyone else, because it's hard to get someone to watch something for 3 fucking seconds before they swipe up. Amazon fucking Prime now, baby. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you're coming, because you're one of those guys that's got that quick ADHD. If you're not interested, you're going right away. So it's great to hear that feedback.
And
bro.
I don't give a shit if he fouled or you fouled or I went first. Bro, if you ain't strong enough, no, that's it. You fucking lost. You think if I jump the go on Freddie, I'm going to win? You think if I jump the go on Monster Michael Todd and I work a little angle, I get a little bite, it's going to make a fucking difference? Fuck no, dude. When I'm at practice and we got 20 fucking new guys showing up, I let them do whatever and it doesn't make a difference. I blow right through them. So these guys that are really good, that can identify when somebody's getting the upper hand on them, we just put a 10-second timer, and whatever happens. You gotta be the better. You're gonna have to always be the better cheater, anyways. Huh, Freddie?
Yeah. I mean, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But here's the problem: is that we put matchups that are super close, right? Everybody wants to see a grinder. Everybody wants to see a close match. So when it's really close, every little thing matters. And that's why you get these long, dragged out setups, because everybody's trying to get every centimeter they can.
Yeah, no, that's got to change. People aren't buying it, bro. You know, because you're playing cornhole now. I told Paul, all the little kids that play cornhole at my club, guess what? They're on full ride scholarships, NCAA, primetime, ESPN, on cable television, dog.
Well, maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need to be on cable television, because when Wall was a thing, when they were on ESPN, I think that was the peak of American arm wrestling, or just just arm wrestling in general. I mean, what do you guys think?
And they were the only ones. Oh my God, shocker. Look at everything that works. One fucking thing under an entire umbrella. NFL, NBA, MLB. Cornhole, when it started, there were 3 big major players. 2 died off, 1 survived. And guess what happened after that? It took them 1 year to get international deals and an ESPN contract. They were sponsored by Mike's Hard Lemonade, Bud Light, Miller Light.
Well, I think that's the problem. This answers Paul Italia's question, right? What's going to make arm wrestling mainstream is monopolizing the sport, right? One organization for the whole sport. That's the only way it's going to work, because what sponsorships are going to want to sponsor East versus West, and then when there's a wall, and then when there's a UAL, and then when there's a this and that and this and knuckles up and
look at the back of it. This is the Bacardi Spice ACL series. This was just one series sponsored by Bacardi all over the fucking country, these giant arenas. That guy, Freddie, that you met, Gavino, him and I, we drove to Dallas. We got there at 7 in the morning, and there was like 3,000 people throwing cornhole bags. And I'm like, holy shit, bro.
The thing is that sponsors are scared to sponsor arm wrestling because there's so many different organizations. WAF, IFA, East versus West, King of the Table, Knuckles Up, a bunch of different organizations. They don't know which one to pick.
I 100% agree.
I want to read Ryan Espy's comments that if the refs took a lot less shit, we wouldn't have any problems. Loosening the rules isn't the answer.
Well, what do you think about everyone starting in a ref script?
Yeah, that's what Walt did. That's basically what Walt did. Set grip every time.
Right. So then,
hey, what's up, Stephanie? I see.
Stephanie Spencer.
We finally met in person in Cali.
Yeah.
I want to say welcome to Pro Panja League. They're in the house, and he says, for the growth of the sport, it's important to be on a major network. Right now, the sport is only popular amongst a very niche audience. Definitely true. And
how do Americans get involved? Like, if I want to just buy a ticket and go over there, how do I compete? I emailed you guys. I sent you a bunch of messages. Nobody got back to me on any of your socials, and then the email was just like, thanks for the email. What if Americans want to go to Pro Panja, baby? Let me know.
And Drew24 says Sony Network is back in Pro Panja, and that's huge. They're doing it right over there for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Matt Conley in the house. He's actually over there in India right now. He's over there for the next 3 weeks, hanging out with everybody, and kind of tell us about your experience. What you've seen over there? And you're actually in the Pro Panja studio right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, I'm in Pro Panja headquarters right now. Greg, I don't know why they didn't get back to you, but they've been amazing to us here, and Ryan and I have been here for the last 15 days or something like that. Couldn't have been treated better. Everyone here has been, they've been treating us like we're a celebrity, which is very, very strange. We're getting hundreds and hundreds of people turning up to meet us and take photos and for hours, and it's absolutely amazing. So many arm wrestling fans here. Even just walking through the streets, thousands of people on the streets, and within 5 minutes, somebody will be an arm wrestling fan. They'll come up and say hello. It's
in Australia?
Oh no, this is in Mumbai, India.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
But do you think that arm wrestling needs to be in the US, like the NFL, the NBA? Like, does it have to be in the US, or could it be in Dubai or Turkey or somewhere overseas?
Well, I think that Pro Panja is doing so well with their numbers. They're going to go to 30 million views per episode that they do.
Wow.
So essentially, they don't have to expand worldwide if they don't want to. I think their plan is to do that. But at this point in time, it's sort of like, if we want to move into that market, we can. But right now, we really don't have to, because we get so much support here in India.
Pro Panja just said, we will have something for Western audience soon, hopefully from season 3. Oh my God, Pro Panja, let me know, brother. I want to be involved 100%.
Hey,
I've been
Pro
telling
Panja, what I'm saying is, on your website, right? Like, I got money, I got PTO. I'm trying, I just took 2 weeks off to go to Mexico, and I just didn't do anything. All I did was sit at the beach for 2 weeks. But I'm like, hey, if I want to go to Sweden or I want to go to Pro Panja, like, can I just pop in? You know, like how here there's a flyer and anyone can just show up and go. Is that the same? But there's no information. You know what I mean?
I believe it's not like that yet, brother. I think they're doing teams and everything's spaced with teams
Okay.
and yeah. So give them time. They're growing it at their home first, and then I expect them. They're gonna start opening up the market.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of where they're going at. Matt, you could probably fill us in a little more on that because Matt is the official commentary over there. Him and Ryan Bowen are working that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you have to be chosen to be on a team here. So each team is representing a different area of the country, or a different sort of their own team structure. And to be on that, you have to have been chosen or selected. It's not like just anyone can sign up to that. And to be chosen, you would have been entering tournaments. You would have been at the national competitions. You would have been at international level. That sort of thing, to get yourself noticed enough that when they are looking to select members for a team, that you're going to get a nomination, basically.
Question for you. Okay, so you remember how England did that tournament in Turkey and there was like 1,200 entries or something like that? What do you think if Panja did an open like that? What do you think? What kind of numbers would they get? Because there's 4 million people that live in Mumbai, right?
Tell them how many people were at the last practice that you guys set there, bro.
Oh shit!
They had to limit it to 1,000.
What? See, bro, yeah. It's not. The USA can't get it together, bro. Fuck.
Chim Flipper Jr. says, yeah, refs need to be given the authority to comfortably foul someone out in the setup. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, or maybe a 10-second timer with the referee, and then that's it. Like,
but you know what happens. I understand what he's saying. If a referee, you got a big match on the line, and the referee fouls somebody out, the referee's the bad guy. So I could see them catching a lot of flack from it, and it makes the referees kind of scared, to take control of the situation. And I'm talking about like when you're dealing with the big names, when you got like Devon on the table and Devon's, fighting in the setup. I'm sure the referee's pretty stressed out, man, because he's pushing the limits. And if the referee goes and fouls him out, he's probably gonna have like an army of Devon fans coming at him after that. So what's your guys' thoughts on that? Like I'm talking like King of Table, for instance, what he was doing there against Leonidas. And, I don't know too many people that would have got away with that. He was kind of taking his hand off the peg. He was talking to him in German the whole time. And, like what is a referee supposed to do to take control of a situation like that?
I don't know, man, but Devon is getting a little bit ridiculous with his antics. Like, I love Devon, and he's great for the sport, and he's like the modern day GOAT, but just the way he's acting is kind of getting old. Like, just watching it, like, I don't know. I don't know what a ref would do in that case, though. I mean, he's not really doing anything illegal.
I just want to answer this because a couple people keep asking, where's Jerry been and how come he hasn't been on my show? Yeah, it's not because of me, guys. It's Jerry. When the whole thing with me and Engen went, Jerry just stopped responding to me as far as coming on the show. He hits me up and we talk, and then as soon as I ask him about coming on a show, he doesn't answer after that. So it's not coming from me, guys. If you want to, ask Jerry that, maybe we could ask Jerry. But I think he's kind of put in, the relationship between him and Engen kind of before our friendship and his channel and all that, and I have no power over that. And if he feels that way, then I don't want to put him in an awkward spot. So I ask, and if he doesn't answer, then I'm just gonna leave it like that. I don't want to pressure nobody or anything like that. It's unfortunate because I'd love to get him on, and he's got that big match coming up against Levon, and I think it would serve him great to be coming on the channel and just kind of talking up his match. But I can't force anybody, so that's where we're at with that, guys. Propanja says we host a draft every 2 years. The last draft took place in 2022, and 3,000 athletes took part, and 180 were selected for seasons 1 and 2. Wow, Pro Panja, when you speak these numbers, bro, it's just got my mouth dropped. Like, that is crazy. You guys are just killing it over there, and that is amazing. Kind of jealous of you guys. Caroline Loomis has a $5 super chat. Hi, all. My keyboard won't come up on phone. Paul in the 98 Rock. Thank you so much for that, Caroline. I really appreciate that. And Ryan Gronin, you're being too quiet right now, bro. I don't hear no jokes going on the sides. Like, what's going on?
I know. Where's your eyebrows?
I am currently under Angon's eyebrows right now. So
Oh my God. You guys see what Pro Panja said for the upcoming draft? We have close to 5,000 entries. Greg, you
Jeez.
might just want to jump on a plane and make it 5,001. Maybe you and Freddie roll up there and see if you can.
Let's go.
Dude, I'm literally like, that's what I'm trying to do, bro. But I'm just still training up. You know, I gotta train up. When is this? When is this draft? I need to know.
Let us all know, man, because I'm dying to come out there.
Well,
as well.
do they have any ladies? That's a good question. Or is it
Yes,
all
they do.
guys?
No, they've got women as well. They got girls too.
What
I
are the
just want to
numbers
know
of them?
Have
when
you
the
seen
draft
Tutu?
is. Anyone
Hundreds and hundreds.
Stephanie, have you seen Tutu? Stephanie, have you
No.
seen Tutu? She's been following around with Ryan Bowen and Matt, and they've been making so much content. You got to check out Ryan and Matt's channel. And she's the #1 arm wrestler in India, and she hasn't lost in like over 10 years, right? Is that correct, Matt?
Yeah, 2013 is the last time she lost.
Is she big? Like
no,
Gabby?
she's
not
what's 60 kilos? What's 60 kilos? 130, 135 pounds, something like that.
Oh wow. Is she fast?
I think she's fast. She's strong. She's very, very technical as well.
Stephanie, you got to take a ride over there. Get on a plane. Go show
that
up
sounds
and
so
pull her out.
fun. I've been feeling like, Paul, I've been feeling like your energy, because when I did my super match, I immediately realized that I thought my opponent was way stronger than she was. And I think that almost so many of the ladies I pull, I'm actually stronger than them. And I just don't have the table IQ or the technique I need. And I feel like if I really honed that in, then I would have so much more to offer. I would really rise so much more.
I was a little shocked with your match against Katie Hinkie recently. It looked like it wasn't the Stephanie I know. You got to pump yourself up. You need me there screaming in the background to get you going, because I know I could get you going.
The first time that I got in the strap and I beat her, I thought I was going to win all of them, and I don't think I don't think I had the energy up. And then the setup in my next strap was really bad. I felt like I was outside of myself, and my hand was bad. Like everything was bad. Like it was not a good setup, and I probably should have argued for it, but I guess I felt like it was okay, because if I hadn't won the first one, then I would be bummed out. And I know it was for Arnold's qualifier, and I'm already going to Arnold's for strict curl, and I have so much time left in my arm wrestling career to come back, so I wasn't really bummed out. But I feel like I have a lot of work to do. But the strength is there. My strength is there. I just didn't realize how I'm actually strong, and that's all I have. I'm strong and I'm slow.
You got to get that hand and wrist. That's what I still, from day one, I've seen the problem here. You're from your wrist up is one of the strongest there are for females, but the hand is just buckling back like instantly. And that was my problem the first year and a half, 2 years. And when I finally started focusing on that, I started doing a lot better. So I think, you really got to put some of the time you put in the gym, put on that hand and wrist, I just want to get Tim involved here, because Tim, as long as you're not making a lot of noise in that car, because before you had a lot of feedback. Tim, I want you to weigh in over here, brother. I'm trying to unmute you, but I think you got us mute right now. You there, Tim?
Yeah.
What's up, brother? So what do we got to do to kind of get in the mainstream? And we see the numbers Pro Panja is putting out there, and they're having 5,000 people to show up, and they're only keeping 180. Like, how do we get numbers?
And what sport is this? Is this cornhole, or is it, what are we discussing here?
Arm wrestling, brother. Pro Panja.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Guys, Guys,
So-
hold on. Before we get into this, you guys are doing a big disservice to yourselves. You need to check out Panja League. Pradeep put me on the first season. I'm not kidding. This is one of the most entertaining shows you've ever seen. You're going to see guys that put it all on the line. They have like a couple hundred people on each team going at it. So the energy in the room is off the charts. And these guys, they got some characters, some of the females in there. I mean, you're going to fall in love with this league. So please go watch them. They're not getting 30 million views for no reason.
Where can I watch them though?
Matt, where can they go check?
Can you post it on your page, Paul?
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
hook it up, Drew.
So you said 5,000 entries or something. So
Tryouts.
Where is this? What
India.
country is it?
India.
Okay, and this is not for arm wrestling. This is for this other sport, or
No, it's for arm wrestling.
Bro, it's arm wrestling.
This is for
Tim Lewis is still super confused.
Okay, so
It's because it's not clear,
How
right?
many
Panja League,
events-
it sounds like something different.
This is
how
Matt
many
Close.
events would you say a year are in India?
Matt, you're gonna have to answer all these questions for us.
Yeah, that's fine. What was this question? Because you broke up a little bit.
How many
question
events
was,
are
how many arm wrestling events are in India each year?
Fair enough. Yeah, well, they have tournaments that to run throughout the year, as the same as you'd find in the States. That would be run by the lower level organization or local competitions or that sort of thing. But Pro Panja is like, you know, the UFC of arm wrestling here in India. So if you make it to Pro Panja, it's like you're at that elite level in the Indian scene. The thousands and thousands of people are trying out for it. So we're here for season 2, which was supposed to take place over these 3 weeks. But unfortunately, the man who runs things here for Pro Panja was involved in a serious car accident, and he was in the intensive care unit for a while. They didn't want to move forwards without his guidance. He's on his recovery now, but they've had to postpone the league until sometime next year. We're trying to figure that out. But when it comes up again, millions of views is absolutely insane. The level of viewership for it's Pro Panja means arm wrestling, so pro arm wrestling, Pro Panja. But yeah, the following here is astronomical.
And guys, you could click on it. Drew just posted up the link right there, so you guys could all check it out. Go save it for later. Go subscribe to their channel. I'm telling you guys, you will not regret this. Like I'm not playing.
It's for free? Like it's for free on YouTube? Everything that they post? Or
It's for cornhole?
no, shut up, Ryan. But is it on YouTube? Like
Yeah, it seems
I think you
like that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Yeah,
they
I think you
post,
can
like,
find
every
some of the
week
highlights on
or,
there.
like
Well, with the league, so season 2 is scheduled to run on Sony Sports Network, which is, you know, a massive sports network. So whether or not that, I'm not sure how it works with the US, whether that channel is available there or not. But yeah, definitely all the highlights and everything you'll be able to find on YouTube.
okay. So Pro
Freddie,
Panja sounds cool.
Freddie, Pradeep put me onto it because he was commentary at the first season, and I'm telling you, bro, there was a bunch of them that I came like fans of. Like these guys are not known out here, but once you watch them, you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of them get the whole crowd going, the energy, and Matt actually's got one of them coming on Arm Wrestling Buzz this Wednesday coming up. I believe his name is Darius Singh. Is that?
That's the one.
So, bro,
And is it in English at all, or it's all in Indian, or
nope? It's
well, yeah. So I'm here to do the English commentary side of it. So I think their primary is in Hindi, but then myself and Ryan will be doing the English commentary. So you would have an English side of it as well.
What kind of characters do they have? Like, are there any John Dabos or what? Like,
So there's some funny guys. The guy Dara Singh is hilarious. He's charismatic. He's funny. He's like a superstar. You know, you just walk in. He walks into the room and he commands that attention. He's almost like a Travis Bagent sort of. You know, just draws the energy towards him. He's very, very, very funny, very charismatic, and he'll be on the show this Wednesday night. But yeah, there's some amazing characters and of all sorts of different levels. Some people are a little bit more quiet, but on the table they just explode. Other people just have that real hype, walking in. When they walk into the arena, I mean, it's this massively huge arena they've built just specially for these events. And the crowd's going absolutely crazy. There's thousands of people there in attendance. They've got proper uniforms, lighting. It's a massive production. It's production at the highest level. So yeah, it's an amazing show.
Somebody says until someone from the Pro Panja can compete in top 10 in the world, it will never matter. Who do you think would be one of their top? I would say Mazadu Seydu is probably one of the top guys that are known worldwide.
Mazahir Saidu. So he has competed on, was it King of the Table? I think it was King of the Table against Coach Ray. The level here is still rising, and we'll see that over the next few years. You've got 1.8 billion people in this country, and arm wrestling is really starting to take off. And so when you've got that many people jumping in on the sport and getting involved in it, you're going to find that the level's going to rise really fast. So I think they're still just below that world level, but there is a lot of champions in the WAF leagues and that sort of thing, and the junior champions that are starting to come up. So over the next few years, I think you'll start to see a lot more Indian champions taking part in the top 10, top 20 of the world.
So is Pro Panja the answer to making arm wrestling mainstream then?
Well, I think it's very specific to India at the moment, but as I said before, their plan is probably to look at moving into the other markets once they've sort of captured and nailed everything down the way that they want to here first. And once it's all in line with exactly how they want to move forwards, then they'll look at moving into the US markets. They don't look at running amateur events or any shows that aren't big, like a big deal. So their immediate thought is, how do we get this on network television? How do we get the absolute highest level of production? They're not looking at trying to get a local TV deal or anything like that. It's like, no, we'll only go in if we're going in at the absolute top level.
I'm telling you guys, check it out. And then, I would want to hear your guys' feedback. So, maybe next show after you guys watch it, just let me know what you think. But as far as other productions, like our top productions that we've been watching is East vs. West and King of Table. When you see this one, you'll just know what I'm talking about. The energy it's a whole nother level because, each team, how many people are on each team, Matt? Is it like 100 guys or something?
No, there's not that many. So I'm not sure how many teams there is in total, but I believe it's like 10 versus 10. So each episode you'll get one team versus the other, and you see all 10 players go against each other throughout the episode.
And then the crowd is just going nuts. I mean, it brings this energy to it, and you can see that their level is catching up, but they're more like starting off. But it's still addictive to watch because, it's just, the characters, they stick out, who's like making up, like, they come out with the entrance and, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just a different energy than I've seen with any other production, and I think that's really what's killing it for them.
Well, why can't we have that here? Like, why don't we have that here?
Did you hear about the World Arm Wrestling or World Series of Arm Wrestling? Jody and Jamie are gonna have like some reality show or something like that.
That's not the same.
I mean, is that gonna be like the answer, or is it
No.
what do you guys think about Tubi? I mean, it's on Tubi. I mean,
that it's not even close. What they're talking about, nothing we have is close.
No. But it's the what Freddie's saying. It's another way of getting out there, and it's something kind of new, and it's called The House. And they're casting for it now. So I encourage anybody that wants to get on it. I think it's going to be a 3-week time. So if you do get picked, they'll be taping for 3 weeks. You got to have 3 weeks free. Go, everybody should be casting and get on it. And we just had another guy come in, Steve Fernandez, and they got some going on October 26th, which is very similar. And I believe there's going to be a reality show behind that. Steve could kind of fill us in on all that.
Yeah, it's starting on October 24th. We'll be live streaming at 2 a.m. Eastern time here in New York.
On YouTube?
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube, and it's going to be on my Facebook, on Steve Fernandez on my Facebook. So you can, we'll be live streamed through there and through the YouTube too as well. Going on, everybody's going to be getting picked up from here. Team of about total is going to be about 18 because we have a camera crew too as well, and a couple different people. Ruff's going over there too, Ray Romanowski, and whole 154 class all the way up to 243 plus. And we're going to be going on a party bus to JFK to the airport. And all filming and everything else, taking pictures, filming on the airplane, getting off, another bus taken all the way down from Bozeman to Great Falls, going to a 20-plus person mansion, hot tub, jacuzzi, tub in the inside, fire pit, 2 floors, bunch of beds everywhere and stuff. It's going to be filmed too as well.
Nice.
Hot spring.
What's the organization?
So mine's is New York Tri-State Arm Wrestling, and we're teaming up with the M Spot. From Montana, and it's going to be the live stream on the actual super matches on the 26th is going to be going through M Spot, but we're still going to be having through our live streaming and everything else going through right before that. Even the weigh-ins and the face-offs is going to be through on my live stream.
Is it for free or is it like?
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, yep. We're doing this for free just to get everybody an idea to see what it's going to be like and everything else. And as soon as it's starts taking off and everybody gets interested, because I want everybody to get interested with the pullers. I want everybody to see exactly what these guys are all about and everything else, instead of just, something to be going to a super match. Everybody sees the same thing over and over again, and they don't even know who's pulling, or some of the guys have an idea who's pulling. But I want these guys to know, the backstory of these guys, how they got into pulling, how long they've been training for, who they started with, what's their favorite, move, who's their favorite puller, who they pull with, what's their team name, what do they do for work, do they live with their wives, do they have kids?
Get to know everybody. That I think that's what attracts an audience, right? Getting to know the pullers. Like you got to support people that and I think that's what really gets the ball rolling with making fans of people.
Yep, not just pullers, but the actual people that don't pull. To get them interested. It's just like, you ever seen the UFC show when they have that UFC kind of like
well, that's what the World Series of Arm Wrestling is apparently trying to do. But I'm excited for your what you're talking about. So that's coming up in a couple weeks, like literally 2 weeks.
Yeah. We're going to be, everything's going to be set and done in a couple of weeks and stuff. Going to have some of the guys and girls sleep over here, and then everybody's going to be traveling from Vermont or everywhere they're coming from, and then we're going to be meeting up here around 2:00 in the morning, and then that's when the live stream and everything's going to start. So we're going to start early in the morning as soon as everybody gets here, kind of like filming everybody getting on the bus so they can see what everybody's all about, kind of giving their what's up and stuff, when they get on the bus, filming the bus and everybody else partying, having a good time at 2:30, 3:00 till 4:00 in the morning till we get to JFK. So this is all going to be a show. This is all going to be to bring out these guys like, does he drink? Does he not drink? Does he smoke? Does he not smoke? Is he cool? Is he clean? Is he a dirty fucker? Like everything all over. So you really want to see.
I like it. That's freaking badass.
All the bullshit, all the good
like
shit.
A reality show.
Exactly.
And Freddie, I like the concept. They I don't know if they're still going with it, but it was the country folk versus the city slickers.
Yeah.
So
really, so the Montana versus New York, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, New York Tri-State Arm Wrestling. So it's from the Tri-State. So we're able to get people from New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Vermont, kind of like the closest nearby. And
I think the professor should be on there. You should throw the professor in there.
Hey, hell yeah!
It's all these elite pullers, that we're getting.
Oh, okay. They have to be good. Okay, it's not about the characters then.
I don't want to say they have to be good. It's just that we want to get these. I want to get these like.
But he's a character. He's a character.
I get it. So that's
I just want to read this comment. I just want to read this comment before we get too far away from Pro Panja. And he says, "You're not being realistic. They are not a sports-driven country. Their first Olympic medal was in 2020. There is barely any people from India in professional sports." Anybody like to comment on that?
That sounds really negative.
You're dominating the arm wrestling fucking world.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is that it's not at the level financially, and if you're looking to travel internationally from India, it costs a fortune. Just to give you an example of the exchange rate, like if one of my Australian dollars is worth about 45 US cents. For India, one of their rupees is worth half of 1 cent Australian. So yeah, for them to buy a plane ticket and fly all the way to America, you're looking at $100,000. So in their sort of terms. So yeah, it's not easy for them to travel internationally to compete. You'd really have to be quite wealthy or quite in a position to be able to do that. So, that's why you probably don't see as many international athletes from this region of the world traveling and competing on those stages.
And isn't their big sport is cricket? That's what one of our people in the chat saying. India is pretty big on cricket and hockey, not ice hockey. So
yes, I'd say their top sports in terms of their performances. Obviously, cricket is massive here. I know it's not big in the US at all, but it's big with Australia and England as well. But yeah, so here boxing, they're very good at boxing and powerlifting as well, weightlifting. So they have some specific sports that Western audiences would be familiar with that they do very well with.
Drew just connected the M Spots YouTube channel. So that's the guys that they're throwing at in Montana. That's going down October 26th. I mean, it's starting October 24th. We could start following it on YouTube and see that story. And I'm telling you, bro, I've been watching some of their events beforehand with the Montana guys, and I became a big fan of a lot of them. They really put on a show. One of them that really, stuck out to me, plus he's a 176 guy, was Playboy Roy, man. This guy, he's got a way with his words. He really sticks out. He's got a big match going on against Dan the Nightmare Schwartz, which I think that's going to be a war. I'm really, really interested to see how that turns out. And I want to see the behind the scenes. I always said, I've been preaching this for so many years now. That is what we need. This way people could identify with the athletes, say who they like, who they don't dislike. So the time they get on the super match, they already know the background and who they want to win. And it just makes people more invested in the match. So really cool to check out. They invited me to go. I've got something going on in my other business. I got a big expo that I'm a sponsor with the day before. Otherwise, I would be there for that whole weekend, man, because, it just, when I heard about it, I'm like, wow, this is going to be a lot of fun. So everybody definitely check in for that. Another great event that we got to put spotlight on, and this one is really, really exciting as well. It's going down October 27th. My man, Matt Conley over here with the AWE in Australia. He's got that young phenom, Rickard Borman. He's going to be competing in that 8-man event. And he is the title holder. But, bro, they are bringing in the giants from all over. They're trying to get somebody that can knock him off his throne. We had a couple of them on the show already. We had Brett Coots, who, if you guys seen him, he looks like he'd be on a bodybuilding stage. He's been arm wrestling 17 years. He's got pins on Ryan Bowen, Ron Bath. I mean, the dude is an absolute monster. And, he's the number 2 seed right now. And he's trying to figure out the formula to beat Rickard Borman. And if you guys don't know who Rickard Borman is, you got to look into this dude. He's only 21 years old. The dude's a pro rugby player from South Africa, now living in Australia. But oh my God, he is an absolute beast. And he's got a big match at Knuckles Up 5, so we'll get to see him in the States in person going against the legend Don Underwood. So you guys, check this out. It's going to be on Matt's channel, the AWE Underground. We'll get to check it out. They're going to edit it up and make it all perfect, but they're going to do this really quick, so we'll get to see it right away. And we'll get rid of all the long setups, and it's just going to be really good for the viewer to watch. And I've been so excited about this. This Wednesday on the Buzz, we actually have one of the ladies on there. Definitely, you're going to like this. She has benched 700 pounds. She holds the world title in bench pressing, and now she's all in arm wrestling, training with Matarangi. I mean, she is a beast. She was originally going to be going against Sarah Bachman, but Sarah and the schedules didn't work out. Sarah had to cancel, but now they got somebody else. Matt, you could kind of fill us in who her new opponent's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it so well, Paul. It was fantastic. So Ashley Hoeta is the lady from New Zealand. She's New Zealand's strongest woman. She does a lot of the strongman stuff over there, which is how she got involved in arm wrestling. And she hasn't been arm wrestling for that long. It's less than a year. But she competed at the East versus West qualifier, won that, went to the actual event and won that as well. So she's incredibly strong. And as you said, bench pressed over 700 pounds, which is 300 and something kilos for those of us in kilos. But she's going up against number one in Australia. Her name's Keziah Harrington. She's a taller girl. She weighs, well, I always do the conversion, 80 kilos, which is what, 185 pounds, I think. So they've had a match previously at the East versus West qualifier, which Ashley won. But they'll be going against each other on both right arm and left arm. And Keziah's very much wanting revenge. So she's training very hard leading up to that. October 27th is the date. So that'll be the main event as the super match. Then we've got the 8-man double elimination tournament running as well, which Rickard Bornemann is the number one seed for that. And as you said, Brett Coots is the number 2 seed. He's training twice a day, every day, leading up to this. So he's fired up. He wants to capture some of that attention for himself and try to knock Rickard off of his mantle at this point in time. So we're very excited to see how that goes.
So did she do the 700 bench in a bench shirt?
Yeah, I think it was a equipped lift, and it's on her Instagram. So Ashley Huerta,
Can one of the guys find that and put it in the comments so we can follow her?
Yeah, she's amazing.
Is the Drew good at? He always posts everybody's links because I love to follow her. Yeah.
Yeah, she also did a raw lift as well, which was just absolutely insane. I can't remember the number of the raw lift, but it was really up there as well. So she's not just setting records with the equipped stuff, but she's also setting records in the raw category as well.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, Steffi, you're gonna want to tune in for that one because I know you're gonna like her a lot. We had her on the show already, but check out this Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. You know, she'll be on there, and Steffi, come in the chat. You could ask any questions you want and all. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to it for sure. And then we also got Rickard's gonna pop in that night. I know he'll be at work, but he's gonna definitely pop on 5 to 10 minutes and kind of just tell us where he's at with training and all. And you guys are gonna really like this dude, man. Really, really humble guy. And I mean, just to think of what he's doing, a little over a year in the sport and just number one in Australia, just dominating everybody. Now he's got a big match going against Don Underwood. And I kind of want to get your thoughts, everybody in the chat. Who do you think is gonna win that one? Let's start off with you, Freddie.
Oh man, I think the young kid is gonna dominate Underwood easy, man. He uploaded a picture, I think it was today on Instagram. He was like flexing probably after a workout. He looked top form. Like I've never seen him look that like freaking swolled up. Don Underwood, one of my favorite arm wrestlers of all time, though. Don Hollywood Underwood, but I don't think he's gonna have enough. Not even close. It's gonna be a sweep.
What do you think? What do you think, Ryan?
Originally, I would have said Don, but then I saw his nude in the AWU chat, and now I'm going with the young.
Oh my god!
I want to welcome on Dave Shubich. Shubich, what is up, brother? How you doing, bro?
What's up? I'm doing well. You guys good?
Yeah, man. What's your thoughts on that match, Underwood versus Rickard?
I don't know. I feel like Rickard's had a lot more momentum of training and pulling at a high level. Well, semi-high level, but I feel like Rickard's got it. I think that Don's needs a little bit more time to settle in and, with the strength that he's got. I don't think he's got it right now. I would love for him to pull it off, but I think Rickard's got it. I think Rickard's got it. He's well-rounded enough and stronger in spades. I think he's got it.
RHCP has a good one. Playboy Roy. I don't know that guy, but I'm a fan already. Laughing out loud. Great Steve, can you do me a favor? Can you send Playboy Roy an invitation to come on here, bro? Because I'm telling you, man. After watching him,
we did. I sent actually an invitation to all the Montana guys and all the guys from the country folks too, and a lot of them were busy, I guess. And but we sent an invitation letting them know that we'll be on, and they're more than welcome to come on and everything. So they all got the invitation.
Okay, so maybe they'll be popping on in the next while and all. I look forward to that for sure. But That Playboy Roy, bro. I'm telling you, when you guys got to go check his past matches over in Montana. When he wins, bro, it is like right out of WWF, dude, and it's not faked or anything. This dude's just got it, bro. You know, he could speak so well. He brings the energy, and you know, from that first time I've seen him pulling, anytime he's pulling, I want to watch, bro. The dude is electric, man, for real.
Yeah, he definitely brings an exciting part about everything. That even before even meeting him, we talked a little bit here and there, and he's like that kind of Conor McGregor type star that you have in arm wrestling type thing. I mean, that's the type of vibe that he brings. So I think more guys like that is what you need, and that's why I kind of want to paint the picture on every single one of these guys that are going in from 154 to 243 plus, so you can see that these guys have a different life and had a different coming, and. Just like we have, Garrett Tupper with his dad that got brought up with his dad, arm wrestling, was in the sport, came out again. Now he's been pulling for 4 years. We're actually bringing his dad with us too. So we're kind of like bringing like every part of everybody's like type of family and everything else to be involved. So look, I want to have everybody have a good time, but I love to have a little bit of drama just so we can have a little bit of fun. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing about it. I mean, really, it's really a reality show. So you can't really always be nice, funny, fun, and sweet. Something's got to happen for it to be, electric.
You got to be authentic, though. You have to be authentic.
You got it. That's number one. That's number one. You can't just make the shit up. That's why I want to have these live stream cameras all over to see exactly what happens and how everybody acts, so you can see what's going on at the same time. So when these guys are sitting there, we're putting tables up there too. The jacuzzi's going to be right there. The fire pit's going to be. So we're going to have a couple different cameras in every different place, so you can watch different, aspects of different views of, Madison's going to be there. So we got a woman that's going to be there too as well. So there's a couple different, things that might spice things up, make things a little bit better than just have a nice, happy place. And that's kind of what's going to be better. Like you guys seen Real World and stuff like that from back in the day. The first thing you want to do is like, yeah, this is good, but when's the bullshit going to happen? That's what everybody's kind of waiting for, So, and I don't want anything bad to happen, but at the same time, something's going to happen. You know what I mean? But either way, you want to paint the story and see what these guys are all about, what they do for work, before anything, and you might actually like a guy better because if you do construction and he does construction, you'll be like, you know what, shit, I know what he's all about, man. I know what it takes to do what he does, and he pulls the way he's pulling. I give him a lot of respect. So you see the background of every single guy with what's going on, or every girl that's going to be there too as well,
Well, I feel like Game of Arms kind of had that same vibe, but it just didn't survive. I don't know why.
I don't think they pushed it enough for it to actually survive. I think it was happened and gone too quick. You know what I mean? And I think this needs to be on a different level, and this isn't going to be the first and only one. This is going to be the first state that we go to, and now we're going to go to a different state. And the difference is too that I don't want to say the name yet, but eventually this is going to be turning into some type of a arm wrestling series that's going to be state to state, and everybody that wins gets to stay on the team. Anybody that loses, and Dave, I've been watching you, Shubich, so you just wait for a call from me on the next one, man, because I've been waiting to bring you on at 220. So that's whoever loses. Let's just say our 220 guy doesn't win, and we need to bring in another guy. I'm going to call Dave and be like, hey, Dave, you just seen the last show, right? What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Great. No, you like it? Nah, you're up for it. Good. So now we bring on Dave Shubich. That's new. Whoever loses off the team, you have a circle of 3 times whoever loses, and then you can come back on the show afterwards after you get a 3 losing streak. I mean, on that weight class.
Steve, what are the chances of you getting me, James, and Steve on there?
Well, you know what? I'm going to call that a different show.
I just wanted to quickly introduce Abhishek Singh here, who's one of the men behind Pro Panja. He'd probably answer any questions better than I can as to how everything's running here. But I finally convinced him to come down. He's in the headquarters. I'm like, get in the because everyone's asking questions. It'd be much better if you answer them. So Abhishek is here from Pro Panja. If there's any Pro Panja questions, but
hi guys, pleasure to be here.
Hey, my friend.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, my man? How long have you been arm wrestling for?
Probably 5 years, I guess. Not arm wrestling, but I've been managing Pro Panja League for the last 5 years.
Can you beat Matt Connolly?
Yeah.
I'm really close. Yeah, 5 years is the same as me. But so with the question, sorry, we had that question before about the teams, which I got wrong, the answer. So you said there's 6 teams with 30 players on each team.
Yeah. So we in 2022 we did a draft. So we had over 3,000 players, and we selected 180 players from 10 categories. So 60 kg, 70 kg, 80 kg, 90 kg, 100 kg. Then women's category 55, 65, 65 plus, and we also had a specially abled category. So each team has 30 players and 3 players from all these categories.
And what were you looking for when you were selecting them? Like, is it like a character that stands out, or is it the quality of an arm wrestler?
It's nothing like that. So we are purely merit based. So you had to win your matches to be actually be selected. So in every category we had over 100 players. So top 18 players from each category were selected. We did not select players on the basis of their charisma or anything like that. We selected purely on their merit, and then obviously we taught the players how to be charismatic, how to be present yourself in front of the camera, how to attract the audience. So so I just want to make this clear that we do not select players just because they are charismatic. We actually have a proper system in place. Like, we only selected players who are actually good and who made it to the top 18 list.
Okay, so me and Ryan are out.
Man, can you imagine if they had an ARI system in India?
Can anybody go for these tryouts to get in these tournaments? Like, do you have to be from India, or can we like fly out there and try?
So for season 1 and 2, we are already set. Those players have already been selected. From season 3, we are going to have an open draft again. And like I said, we already have 5,000 registrations so far. But I believe when we will be closer to the draft date, we'll have over 10,000 registrations. That's we are preparing for.
So if we wanted to like sign up for it, we could sign up and make the trip out to you guys and try out.
We will have something in place for the Western audience. I mean, we are still planning it, like how, because the thing is, we need to convince the network as well, because obviously they are putting in the the setup and everything. So it has to go through a couple of systems. So we have to talk to a lot of people to make that happen. But I believe we will make it happen. From season 3, I believe we will see a lot of Western players, and then we are going to make the leap to the Western American market, Canadian market. We do have plans in place. We just want to be absolutely right, because the West is, you need a lot of money. So when we do plan to go there, we want to make it absolutely right, and we don't want to go, half efforted. So we want to do absolutely right when we head to North America.
Well, please keep us up to date, brother, because I think we got a lot of interest over here. I know I've been wanting to be part of this since season 1 when Pradeep put me onto it. I've been watching all your guys' shows, and hearing from Matt, him with his experience there, I definitely want to check out India as well. So definitely keep us in the loop with that for sure.
Another interesting thing that I'd like to tell is season 1 we only had Hindi commentary that Pradeep used to do. So the large part of India doesn't speak Hindi. So India has over 100 languages. So the Hindi commentary only reaches to a certain audience. So that's why we brought Matt and Ryan in to help us with the English commentary, so that 32 million turns to maybe, I don't know, fingers crossed, 100 million. So we want to reach to every part of the country. So that's why we brought Ryan and Matt in. And we do have something planned for season 2 in the US as well. Like, we have something that you can probably watch it live. So we are working on it. So hopefully, you guys can enjoy the English commentary as well.
Well, I love that. Female arm wrestlers bringing up, so excited for Maddie versus Jolene. So yeah, tell us more, man. That's a good match right there. We're talking about Jolene Anderson from Utah, and we're talking about Maddie Walker. Is that who that is?
Yeah, they said they couldn't find anybody, and I was a little upset that they couldn't find anybody. They're going to call it off, and I jumped right back in. I didn't even say anything. I was looking for another female puller. Maddie's like family, so I wasn't going to let her go like that. And I found Jolene Anderson, gave her a call, see what she was in, and it didn't really take that much. She was in as soon as I told her. I want to say a couple hours later she answered, and I think that's going to be a really good match. I think Honestly, I think it's whoever hits first is going to be the one that's going to be in it, because I don't. They're very similar, the way they pull. She top pulls, so does she. And Maddie's a beast, man. She's been getting better and better. She just got back in 100% a few months ago. She's been pulling a few years ago, but then she stopped for a little bit because of school and softball and everything else, which I completely understand. But she's got a good training partner. Ray trains with her all the time, And Steve showed her so much different stuff. Mike Minona too, also as well. Rest in peace. But in general, she's ready for her, man. She's really ready for her. I'm putting down the money for that match, so I hope everything goes the way it's supposed to. I got, like I said, I got my money on her. I know she's gonna win. She's got it. So
whoa! I'd slow down there, brother. Jolene Anderson is an absolute beast. That is the queen of Utah over there. She trains under with Bob Brown, and I mean, I don't know if everybody knows her, but she's the real deal. She shows up at tournaments and just dominates. So I know Maddie is a really good puller. I know her father, Steve Walker. He just goes into the tournament and we know he's winning like right away. So it's not so. I'm 50-50 with that one. That could go either way. That is.
Oh yeah, that can go either way. But I'm just backing up Maddie, like I should. You know what I mean? And she's my puller. You know what I mean? So I gotta be on her side, even though I brought Jolene, to pull her. Maddie's, our team. She's team City Slicker. So I gotta, have my money on her.
I respect that, but I want to Jolene as well, because I've definitely pulled with her. And I want to introduce today, we got Merlene in the house, and Merlene might have some insight on this match and all, because Merlene is one of the beasts of all North America. She just, one of the top females. She's an OG in the sport, about 10 years in and all. So Merlene, I want to get your thoughts on that match between Maddie Walker and Jolene Anderson. How do you think this one turns out?
Jolene's a beast, what I'm saying? But I know that Maddie's pretty strong too, and everyone has their days. So it's definitely an exciting match and one I'm looking forward to seeing.
So if you had to put the house on it, who you putting it on? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but we want to hear.
Well, let me put you on the spot real quick.
It's really a tough one. I feel like Jolene has a lot of experience. I know Maddie took a bit of a break because she was doing amazing things at school and things like that, and furthering her education and things like that. But I'm a big fan of Maddie. I love that girl. She's a beast. Her dad's like family. So I would be rooting for Maddie, even though they're both amazing people,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. So when does that go down? What time does that YouTube start on the 26th when they actually compete? I know you said October 24th. We're going to start all the footage, so everybody's going to be following the way. But when does the actual super matches start for everybody?
I think it's going to be at our time Eastern I think it's going to be either 8 or 9 o'clock. I'm not sure. Give me 1 second. I'm going to check that out right now. But I'm pretty sure it's around that time because they're starting – I'm not sure what the hour difference, but it is going to be, I think, 6 to our 9, I think. So I think it'll probably start around 9 o'clock at the M spot. And it should be going on for a little bit, man. I mean, it's going to be 11 super matches total. And we have beasts, man. Roger Learn's going to be there. Ben Ciapoli's going to be there. Garrett Tupper, Sam Mitchell. Like I said, Dan the Nightmare, Aiden LeMay, Jason Ciardi. Vladimir's an absolute fucking monster. And, I'm saying, dude, there's going to be so many pullers, man, and they're all top-notch pullers. These guys, I'm sure everybody knows or has an idea of who I just, spoke about, having Vermont Shield from Garrett Tupper, Sam Mitchell's, everybody's seen him. He's a 165 puller, doesn't look anywhere near 165. And if you ever pulled him before, he's a fucking brick wall, so these guys are no joke. I mean, I don't really see them too much. The only problem that I see is maybe Len Houghton up against Ben Ciapoli, because I know he pulled Steve, and Steve's an absolute monster, and they had a fight, war back and forth. So I'm going to say it's going to be really hard for Ben to get over on Len. So I think that's probably the only match. And the other match that I see maybe that something might happen is Mason up against Aiden, but I still got my money on Aiden, and I know Mason just got hurt at the World at IFA, so how good could you really pull hurt, and it's not the arm that he's pulling that it's hurt, it's the other one, thank God. but at the same time, you're still fucking hurt, you know? So
I just got to say this. We got a bunch of people trying to get on right now, and we're at the max. We got 10 people on here, and I keep getting notifications. More and more people are trying to join. So, guys, you know, when somebody steps off, we'll be able to bring you guys on and all. I'm sorry for, you know, we can't fit everybody on here, but I'm happy that we're getting some, you know, everybody wanting to join and all. It's really cool that this is going down for sure. Merlene, I want to talk about upcoming match with you, January 25th. You want to kind of fill everybody in what's going on at Knuckles Up 5?
Pretty excited. Pulling.
Them again, or
I'm not cooking this time. I'm pulling this time. I'm trying to alternate. I go between cooking and pulling, cooking and pulling. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. You know what I mean? Especially I can't find any video or whatever, so I don't exactly know what to train for. So it's pretty exciting prepping for it. That's for sure.
Well, we got Savage Arm Wrestling. He's in the chat, and he says, I'm close with Yoshiko. So you might want to talk with him and kind of get some info on her. How long do we know how long she's been pulling for?
Not quite sure, but I did see her name in certain tournaments from like 10 years ago. So I know she's been in the sport for a while. I know that. And the Knuckles Up guys isn't going to have somebody that's not like top notch. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty excited. I know she has to be a beast.
Hell yeah. Definitely. So how you preparing? Like, you know, what's training looking like these days? I know, you know, you're working hard and you got a lot going on in your plate. So how you fitting all this training in and to get ready?
I just feel like, you know, you get what you put in. And, you know, especially since I had broken my thumb like 2 months ago, I've been training everything opposite of my technique, which is top roll. So I've been just, you know, doing different lifts, working hard on hooks, things like that. Anything that is outside my norm.
How did you break your thumb? I had no idea.
So, you know, I love everybody, all the female arm wrestlers and stuff on my feed. They're all doing amazing things, benching, deadlifting, all this stuff. And I was like, man, I don't bench or lift or anything like that. So I want to try new things and went on a hike, and it was either my face or my hand, and I chose my hand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Savage Arm Wrestling just said she is a retired world champ. Wow.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
That's scary, but we know that you're an OG in this sport, and you know, you've gone against some top notch competition, and you usually come on top. So yeah, this is going to be a war though, but I know that you're coming prepared, and it's going to be a good one.
I got my money on you, girl. I got my money on you.
Appreciate you, white guy. I'm not gonna let you down. Gonna give it all I got.
Guys, who's coming to Knuckles Up 5? You know, we need to start getting everybody coming. We know
When and
Steve
where?
will be there. Ryan's always there. Freddie, you coming?
When and where?
January 25th, Fort Lee, New Jersey. You got to make this, bro. This is one of those.
Yeah, be there, be square, man.
Yeah,
man. I'll see if I can make it.
Freddie, you got to grab Greg Brown, grab the crew.
Okay.
You guys got to roll up, man. I'm telling you, this is one of those you want to get behind and see in person. And they got a big tournament. This one that's what they're doing different. So you know, you get to compete before.
Qualifier.
Do you know the weight classes to that?
We'll get you all that info, but it's the Arnold's qualifier. It's the last Arnold's qualifier. So whatever, you know, the weight classes of the Arnold are, that's the ones that they'll be honoring. It's going to be a big turnout. We're expecting a full house. Definitely a lot of great competition. And I mean, if you want to compete in the Arnold's, which one of the biggest events coming up in March, that's the last one to get in. So definitely jump on.
Yeah, I think 154, 176, 198, 220, 220, 242, 243 plus. Then I think they got Ryan, they got 265 too, right?
Yeah, it's 275 or 60.
Yeah, 265. We're about 20 pound, you know. But it's yeah, you gotta go. It's great.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Savage Arm Wrestling saying, hint, she does have a King's move. So you gotta get ready on that transition from that top roll to the press. Get ready on that one.
Yep.
Shubich, are you making a trip for Jersey in
I was gonna say no, but now that you mentioned the tournament, I might just show up.
Oh yeah, yeah, brother. For
I
real.
think I might just turn around my training and
Farm crusted steaks.
Yeah, definitely gonna make that happen. Yeah, I'm thinking now I'm gonna go. I was just yeah. I like
Chris,
that.
you're gonna make the trip up from Florida, brother. You should make it
Man,
for this one, bro.
now that we're talking about it, I'm gonna have to see what I can do. I was already making plans to go up to Winter Haven, but this sounds nice, man. I'm gonna have to try to make plans for this now. Thanks for letting me know.
What's going on in Winter Haven? Is there a tournament or something?
I mean, Winter Blast. Sorry. Winter
Oh,
Haven.
okay.
Winter
so
Blast. Yeah.
You better come up here.
Yeah, you got plenty of time though, man. Come up in January. Go get qualify for the Arnold, and then we got what is it, Brian? March 21st
and 22nd, because Arm Gods is doing their stuff 21st.
Oh, we need to make mention of this, guys. So this year at Winter Blast, this is going to be a special Winter Blast. We know last year they had 580 entries and all that, but this time we got Arm Gods is coming in. They're making a trip across the pond, and they're putting together some real lineup of super matches. It's gonna be like a 2-day thing going on. Friday night we'll have the Arm God show to watch, and then Saturday you get to compete at Winter Blast. And I want to say Italia Arm Wrestling Promotions is an official sponsor this year. We're going to help out Winter Blast, and we're gonna throw some money their way because I loved that experience last year. Even though all the fire alarms being pulled and all that craziness with my match, but I still had a blast. But yeah, I'm gonna have a good time this time. And I want to say,
Paul's the first sponsor that I had to trade sexual favors with to get him on this.
Are we ever going to see a rematch with Nadia?
Who did who? Who did what?
Part of the sponsorship was not to tell.
Also, too, man, for Winter Blast. You know that same thing as last year, Ryan. So I'll be there, man.
Oh yeah, yo, the Nightmare is just checked in. He's over in Puerto Rico right now, and I want to kind of hear what's going down over there, bro. I see all these pictures and videos. Looks like you're having an amazing time down there. Kind of enlighten us what's going on in the arm wrestling scene.
Killing all the Puerto Ricans down there. That's
so on Friday, on Friday, I got to link up with No Team Arm Wrestling League, and they hosted a big ass practice. At first, I thought it was only going to be like maybe 4 or 5 guys. That was my expectation. All of a sudden, person after person after person started rolling up, and the bigger they were, like they kept showing up. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Where are these guys coming from? They're coming out of the woodwork. And they were like, yeah, we're all lining up to see where you're at. I'm like, dude, like these guys got 50, 60, 80 to 120 pounds on me. Like, what do you mean where I'm at? I could barely hold these guys with one arm, let alone 2. But it was an amazing experience. The energy levels here in Puerto Rico when it comes to arm wrestling is second to none. I recommend anyone and everyone who's on vacation, who wants to go to Puerto Rico, check it out, or is questioning about checking it out, definitely pull the trigger. It's worthwhile. I'm here with family celebrating my mother's 70th birthday, and I figured why not get myself ready for the upcoming City Slickers versus Country Folk October 26th event for last table time, and I killed it with Hung and Adam Hernandez. They were fucking amazing by way of just getting everyone coming in. And a big shout out to Kong. He helped me get everyone purchased some shirts. He's like, listen, this guy came all the way from New York. I want you to purchase some shirts from this man. And I brought them just in case. I didn't anticipate that many getting sold, but I had over like 12 of them. And I'm sorry for my connection. We are in Puerto Rico. I'm literally on the beach. At a beachfront condo. So if you can't hear me, I apologize. Connectivity issues suck here.
Well, I'm glad you got to pop in. And then Savage Arm Wrestling, I want to make mention of this match. This is a big one. We got Toshiaki from Japan, and he's going to be going against Mario Tambakis. That's coming up, guys. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Toshiaki's been competing at Knuckles Up, and I became a really big fan of him, man. He was the one that just beat Matarangi, which is, that was unexpected. I think everybody there was kind of in shock with that one.
Yes, sir.
So I want to ask Matt his thoughts on this, because we know Mario Tambakis is one of your crew, and he's got his handful with Toshiaki. Kind of explain what you think is going to go down, bro.
I think Mario Tambakis is on an absolute tear. I think he's one of those hidden gems that's just starting to get his shine and get his opportunities on the world stage. So he is an absolutely phenomenal puller. He's jumped over to America a few times to compete in the Arizona State tournaments. Each time he has, he's won his class. He's done fantastically well on Knuckles Up. He is an absolute stud. In Australia, he's always sort of pushing around that top 3, top 4 level, only sort of sitting behind Lachlan Adair. Ryan Bowen, he sort of has had a back and forth battles with him, and he's also had some wars with Rickard Bornman as well, who we were talking about earlier. So he was actually Rickard's very first match at AWE2, which Mario ended up winning. I think it was 4-1. So he is an absolute stud, and I think that he would be, for me personally, the heavy favorite in this matchup.
I can't believe Savage Armor just said it happened yesterday. Bro, should we ask who won, or is that going to ruin it for everybody else here? Because I'm really interested to know who won now.
Who won?
We're going to have to, Savage, let us know, brother. I can't believe I missed that one. And I want to, in the meantime, I want to introduce Nadia. Nadia is just an absolute beast. She's originally from Ukraine.
Nadia.
Hello, guys.
New Jersey. And let me tell you about her. I got to feel that hand at the last Knuckles Up. It is steel. And, she's gunning for Sarah Bachman. She wants that match down the line. She said, give her a year. She'll get up in weight and all that. So that's just so you guys know what kind of level we're talking about that Nadia's at. So welcome, Nadia. How are you tonight?
Oh, great. Nice to see you guys, too. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Great.
Great.
You have a big match coming up. Can you kind of fill us in on all that?
Oh yeah, I'm so excited of that because really I'm underdog. I tell you the truth, because a couple of years ago, maybe I don't remember. It was been maybe 2018. I lost to her. We got a super match. That's why she's she was been on the top, but she didn't like.
How bad did you lose?
Arm wrestler. It's so hard. It was been hard to lose, but I was been around 131 pounds.
Was it a 3-0, 3-1, 3-2?
No, she was been her weight was been 143. We prepared it for the WOW WL.
Okay.
Some tournament, and I keep my weight around 130. That's why, and Marcio, she told me just 2 weeks before of that super match, and I say, okay, no problem. I just wanna grow up arm wrestling, ladies arm wrestling. I will not reject that. If she want it, let's go do it. That's it. Doesn't matter.
Nice.
What is your weight? What is your something? That's it. I'm ready.
What was the super match? Was it a 5-round super match, 6-round super match?
Yeah, it was been 5. I don't remember. You can find it on YouTube. Everything is on YouTube.
Do you remember if it was 3-0? Was it 3-1, 3-2?
I don't remember really. Listen, I just working on my mistakes, and that's it. That's why. Why I wanna pull with the much more stronger ladies,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanna see my weakest part and work with them. That's it.
Did you guys all see the video of Nadia flipping around that 35-pound bumper? She was just like, how many times do you want to do it? That was insane.
I was just watching the video last night from Nadia WAL when they were trying to set I forgot who you were pulling, but you ended up almost jabbing her in the fucking throat after you won, and then
Valerie Beach.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
Yep. And that was a good match. Everybody was WAL there, so that was really good.
No, really.
This was in 2016, right?
I don't remember. Listen,
I did. I just saw it yesterday.
I just pulled. That's it. But I tell you like this, I didn't punch her. She just she didn't step back. Okay,
So you
and
threw the
we're
jab.
excited. We are doing like this, and it's happened. It's happened exactly in the middle.
That was a
But
good
it's
match.
cool,
The whole thing
listen.
was a good match. I'm pretty sure this is like 2000. So this is years ago.
Oh yeah, it's many years ago. That's
Yeah.
why right now everybody is a different everybody. That's why listen, if somebody interested, I'm every time open to pull with anybody. Merlin, you're next.
Oh man. Okay. Thanks for the warning.
The one I want to see, Nadia, and I keep bringing this up, is I want to see you versus Liz Mozek. I know there was a little beef going back and forth on Facebook, and I tagged the Knuckles Up guys. That's one of them I'm requesting, guys. Because I really like when two people have like a real problem off the table and they want to solve it on the table.
I would
And
love to see that match.
That it makes sense. That makes sense to me.
What do you think, Nadia? Would you like that
Guys,
match?
listen, I'm so would like to have it because listen, to me it's no problem. Just if she's comfortable with some weight, just let me know, okay? Because I wanna plan it because I don't wanna gain the weight and come back,
Yeah.
That's why I wanna like with Sarah, yeah. We got the agreement 75 kilograms. We are both will be good with that, yeah. But first of that, I wanna pull with everybody before 75 kilograms,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanna
way
give
up
a
there.
chance to everybody and go weight up,
I was gonna say,
That's
what's
why.
Liz weighing? Liz is a little bit more, right?
Oh, I don't know right now. Sorry.
She cuts down too, bro, because she just went against Miss Top Roll Alexandra, and she had to cut a lot of weight if I'm correct, because Alexandra is a lot lighter, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
think Liz could pretty much make any weight that needed to be for this match.
That way I would like to pull with her if she's interested every time, like we have a dialogue, and get an agreement. What is weight is comfortable for her, what is weight is comfortable to me, because I don't want to get just fat to be a fatty girl, I want to be I want to show my defense technique start and everything, That's why listen.
What's wrong
What's
with
a good weight for you? What are you comfortable at pulling at, Nadia?
What did they say?
What's a comfortable weight for you to pull at?
70 kilograms is the comfortable.
kilograms?
It's my real weight class all the time. That's
What
why
is
70
that in pounds, guys? Talk to me in pounds.
154 is
154, 155 plus minus one. Let's go.
Nadia, I don't think it really matters with you. I felt that hand. Throwing around those 35-pound dumbbells. I don't think weight really matters.
No.
You're ridiculous.
No, that's why what I say. I can buy a bunch of rolls and eat them and pull with the mission. Where is the bad mozik? 165 pounds.
Marlene, how do you do against Nadia? Have you guys ever gripped up for fun or anything?
Oh
Yeah, we gripped up for fun and she just demolished me. I had no chance. I was like a piece of paper in the wind.
Yeah, Nadia's like a Dan. Like you don't know what you're getting until you grip up with Dan. And then as soon as Dan takes your fucking hand, you're like, and you got a 260-pound guy in front of you sitting there going, my God, what the fuck does he have in his hand? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, Dan's hand is the real deal for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm telling you, like about Roy, man, Playboy Roy. He's got nothing. I'm sorry. I'm saying he's got a little bit of strength. I think maybe on Dan, but besides that, I think if Dan's gonna top roll the shit out of him. So that's number one. So after that, I think he's gonna play with him in the hook to see what he's got. But either way, he's not gonna be able to go through Dan's hand. And from what I've seen, Roy doesn't have a hand at all. He depends on his bicep and he depends on his strength, which is good. I get that 100%, but you're not going to be able to go through Dan's hand. It's not going to work.
If the contest was gymless, Roy would probably destroy and demolish me left and right handed easily, but that's not what that is. That's not what this is. Coming up October 26th, he's had an arm wrestle, man.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like he has much dimensions to his game. So I look forward to smashing through that.
Yo, his name is Playboy Roy. He is the man just from his name, bro. Come on.
Listen. I'm gonna make him wear a bunny suit after I beat his ass at the table.
Somebody feeling spicy.
Oh yeah. Listen, I'm in Puerto Rico. Of course, I'm feeling spicy.
I love it. Hey guys, if you can, just click that thumbs up button. Let's get me in the algorithm over here. This way we get more people to come in and hang out and join the chat. I mean, we're maxed out right now, but I want to get as many people in the chat as possible. And if you guys have any questions for anybody, let's put them in the chat, and we'll make sure to ask anybody up here. So we got a bunch of new people in here, and I want to just kind of talk about the topic of the night. And I'm trying to figure out ways to do things different to get us in the mainstream. And when I say mainstream, I'm meaning non-arm wrestlers that'll sit down and watch the show, like 2-3 hour show. What do we got to do? Because I'm seeing a lot of problems with the setups and taking 4 or 5 minutes before we actually go. And my last example to give was the King of Table. It was kind of rough to sit through. And I just kept saying to myself, if non-arm wrestlers went and seen that would not be a good opening look for arm wrestling. So, Steve, what do you think is the key here, bro, to take things up?
So if we're talking about tournament or super match wise, I can tell you from that aspect. But if you're talking about all eyes completely, I would say what I'm trying to do on the 24th to the 27th is an actual reality show, and bring that to the next level so people can get interested on what they're going to see there. If it's going to be in a tournament super match setup like King of the Table or something like that, and just specifically like that, I mean, it's got, and look, and I don't want to, I don't want to talk bad about anything about like that. They're professionals. Like, I praise them what they do. They're good matches and everything else, but it's got to be clear. They can't be, any kind of dark background. And honestly, I thought the refs weren't really, that good either. It wasn't really what I expected, man. You know what I mean? It's not, like you said, it's not going to be something for, comfortable with somebody that just brand new to the sport. They're not going to want to see something like that. I think the setup, what they have, like Knuckles Up or East versus West or something like that, like that's what's different. That brings everything different to, I would say, to the pullers. If you want to see an actual professional sport, that's what you really got to be on that type of setting, where everything, all the lights are on, the cameras are on, cameras from everywhere, from the table sides and everything else. And that's another thing too that we're bringing it to in Montana. There's going to be cameras from underneath, from the sides, from the top, from every single angle. And that's another thing that we're doing with these guys, because it is almost UFC, ESPN level. That's the type of production that they have there in Montana. That's why we're doing this with them, besides all the relationships that we have with them and everything else. But beyond that, they have a much more professional production that I've seen that could be in a different broad spectrum where everybody can see and get involved with it, and then obviously
who's the people that are doing it? Like, let's give them a plug right now.
That's the M Spot. I think it's what is it? Red Leg Studios. What is it again?
Yeah. It's the M Spot. Pretty much presented by Red Leg Studios. They're the ones that are hosting it out of there and doing the production. But the M Spot's a YouTube channel.
Okay, is that a production company that's actually doing it? Are they, they just do the arm wrestling? They do other events as well.
Yeah, they team up with ESPN, and that specific guy does production teams with UFC, basketball, baseball, football. So he's the professional, production scene that has been on live TV, and everything going on. So it's not just some regular. So it's definitely going to be to the next level.
So Savage Arm Wrestling says audio is massive. An announcer who can engage on multiple levels, not just be intelligent for what's going on the table, but be fun and engaging. Very true, very true. And he also said,
I couldn't agree more.
They need to add some side things for the gaps that happen during those large breaks. Definitely agree with that, because that was hard to watch. Sure.
I think if every individual arm wrestler that is on these things had their own OnlyFans page,
then we can really get to know them, right?
Right.
Really get to know them on a personal level.
Really get to know them personally.
Can I say? I think you must work with the gyms. A lot of clubs is gyms, and they have a TV, and they don't translate arm wrestling over there. You know, like they must watch to show the some arm wrestling matches or something. It's not just on a broadcast or something. It can be recorded or something. It will be improve. Of some guys who attend the gym, they don't see just bodybuilding and super like like strongmen or something. They see are missing too. Oh, this is cool.
Hmm.
How can I do it?
Yeah, yeah.
And I see the mistakes is over there. We don't have a lot of arm wrestling tables in the gym. They don't allow us to have to you to have it that because they're afraid about the people can break the arm or something. It must to be because arm wrestling it's a sport. It's an official sport. Everybody is doing this sport. That's why if they will got a coach or somebody who will be just to keep them eyes, nobody can broke an arm during the training process. Everybody
Nadia,
is
that
broke
is
the arm, you know.
Nadia, that is so smart, and I really think that's a starting point. And so, what we can do with the gyms is we could talk to the gyms and have like maybe like scheduled classes. So this way, you don't just have a table there. Because if you just leave a table there, that's when things can get dangerous for insurance and all that. But if you have like we're gonna do every like Tuesday night for 2 hours, and you have somebody like yourself looking over it, everybody signs waivers, so the gym's not responsible for if something does happen and kind of just educate everybody. And then the thing that you said about with the TVs, that is so smart. I didn't think of that. Everybody at the gym, they're watching the TVs in between sets. If they go and they start watching the arm wrestling, they're gonna really get into it, and it's something that goes along with fitness. So I like that idea, and I think that could be something that every one of us can kind of do. We could go talk to our local gym. We could see if we could bring in the arm wrestling table and keep it like in a closed room, and just like I said, it's only on these certain hours because you don't want it just to be out in the public where anybody could get on, because that could be a disaster. But I know the gyms are open to that. I know at my 24-hour gym, I know Eric Waffel, one of the legends of our sport, he used to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm actually going to go follow up on that at my local gyms over here, and I encourage others to do the same. I think that could be something that could be good implemented in. Matt, what about you, brother? Do you have anything like that? Would you guys allow like the gyms by you in Australia or where you are now? Would they allow that to happen? Like to have like classes and something like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the fear is that if you leave the table, you will get people that injure themselves. It's like having two people who have no idea how to box, and then they jump in a boxing ring. Somebody's gonna hurt themselves. But yeah, I've done a lot of gym demos, and it's that sort of thing. Like most of the time, they'll have some sort of like birthday night or whatever, where they've got a few different activities going on, so people are aware that there's bench press competitions or there's chin up competitions or whatever. And so I've been able to sort of weasel my way into bringing the arm wrestling table. And it's great because I get 2-3 hours arm wrestling to a whole different community of people that are into strength sports and into building muscle and getting strong. And then I get to sort of get them to come over and try arm wrestling out, which is amazing. The funny thing for me is like the biggest, strongest guys will not come over. They will avoid contact. Their friends are like, gone, oh, come over, like go have a go at it, and they're like, nah. I think that there's a little bit of that ego there that they don't want to lose. But when people sort of see what I'm doing, is that I'm showing people how to do it properly. I'm not there beating everybody. Everyone is beating me. I'm allowing everybody to win so that they get the opportunity to learn. And I think once people sort of see, oh, okay, I'm not just going to go up and get embarrassed. It's like, no, I'll show you how to do it properly. But Abhishek had a point he wanted to bring up about promotion for North America and how, you were talking about with media.
Yeah. So one thing I've seen that American promoters lack is involving the local media, because once the guys are popular locally, you can, what I've seen is what we do especially is that we'll have local press interviews our guys in regional media. So we have someone who lives in far off region. So we'll have involve the local press. We'll have them, hey guys, come on. we'll give you some airtime, interview our guys. So what that happens is that guy is then popular in his own locality. Nobody knows arm wrestling. Those guys might not be watching Pro Panja League, but those guys will definitely read the local media. So that's one thing that I think American promoters should do, involving the local media. I mean, initially it will cost some money, maybe paid promotions, like paid articles in some of the local channels. But I think that will help build the local guys. That way, even if they do not understand arm wrestling, if you have your local guys out there in the media, there will definitely be some eyeballs.
Yeah, that's a good example, and I actually did that locally by me. I was on a couple of the radio stations, and I would tell everybody about it. We got a feedback from somebody on here, but yeah, that was one of the things that I went after right away. Was just get over to the local stations. It is a little easier for me because I'm in the area of Petaluma, where that's where arm wrestling begun. So people that live there already know it. We have a statue in the middle of town and all that. But as soon as I went over there to radio stations, they were so receptive of it because they know that the Worlds used to be there, and kind of everybody already know it. We have somebody's getting some feedback. I don't know who it is. I'll play around with it. But where else kind of media? Like, what are we talking? Like, news stations? Like, give us some examples of media that we could look for in our local areas.
So I wanted to chime in, Paul, for the M spot for the 26th. The M spot's actually for commissioning local radio stations and TV channels. Actual like putting it on their local TV channels. Like we have it in Long Island, News 12 Long Island. If we had something like that, just like even 15 seconds or something like that. Hey, this weekend we got this coming up. Like you said, like the guy from Promotional just said, I don't know his name. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your name anyway. But I think that there's a lot of merit in that and guerrilla marketing in that regard, because that's how you get exposure to people who are non-arm wrestlers and gets their interest. It's like, oh, I've seen that or I heard of that. And, it's at a local spot that I'm familiar with.
How do we do that? How do we get in touch with them? Like what's the proper channels to do that? I know we have that one in Long Island, but like I wouldn't even know how to get in touch with them, or is it like maybe like News 12 also?
You use a public relations person, Paul. Luckily for us, one of our club members is a PR guy. Like that's his job full time. So for the upcoming event for AWE, he's already contacted the newspapers. We've had articles in there on the day before the event. So the event's on a Sunday. On the Saturday, we're going to be running an article in the Saturday newspaper. And we've also contacted the local news networks, and they're going to be sending out one of their news crews to film and do a segment on our event. So, but yeah, for public relations person is who you need to speak to.
Another thing is a lot of areas in the United States have a tourism committee. And if you hit up the tourism committee like we did for Winter Blast, they gave us $2,500 to have the event in their town because they know, well, once we told them how many people we're expecting, they want people to come in from other parts of the country and other countries. So they gave us $2,500 to host it at the casino. And then also they hooked us up with all the media channels, and they just asked, and Matt actually helped me with this. They wanted like a media package and sent it to them. And now they're going to get the media for us. So that's, look into like the tourism committees in your areas, and most states have it.
I love it. And you know what? We did that at the Oklahoma event that I did. We were at the minor league stadium, the Tulsa Drillers for the LA Dodgers. And, the big super match that the main one we did down at home plate. And that was Lachlan Adair against Austin Jaggers. And we actually had the news station there, and, they played it all over it locally. And then they had the mascot going against Lachlan because he was the winner. So, that is a great example of how to get yourself out there, and usually it doesn't even really cost anything. They're happy to spotlight something going on locally and all.
Yeah,
so
they gave us money. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't know about the money part. That's amazing. Yeah, so that's definitely something. I'm glad we're having this talk, because this is giving ideas to people that they could go and you don't got to be some big organization. You could do your own thing. It's simple as just talking to your local gym. bringing in a table over there, setting up a time and a date where you're going to kind of educate people. But I just want to go over a couple of things that you need to do if you go that route. We got to have like a safety class, like the first 10 minutes. You got to go over that. You got to make sure that everybody's staying inside their shoulder, teaching them the basics. And before you even get on that table with that safety, you got to have waivers made out. And I mean, pretty much any organization that's doing business, they have these waivers. So you just hit up one of the organizations and say, hey, can you fax me over one of your waivers? Go make some copies. So this way you're protected, the gym's protected. God forbid something does happen, even though we don't want that. And that's why you're going to have that safety class. But the main thing is, especially at these gyms, because you get a lot of people that are just, very strong in the gym and they don't want to be told nothing. And if you notice that, you have to stop them immediately, because if one person goes and breaks their arm or gets seriously hurt, that's the end of it at that gym. And you got to think of it like that, because you are going to come across those egomaniacs that are like looking at you like, yo, bro, I'm good, I ain't getting hurt and all. Whoa, no. Then you can't come on the table, buddy. And I got to admit, I was one of those guys at the beginning, man. It took me 2 surgeries to realize I'm not indestructible. So, just you got to be very firm with that. But that's a great example of how to get and promote yourself. Get in touch with the local media. If there's any radio stations, talk to them. Talk to the news people. I mean, with the news people, you're going to have to throw some sort of event or something like that, and kind of promote yourself like that. But if you are throwing an event, Ryan just said it, you could get some sponsor money, and that could really, really help out and all. So everybody should be doing their part to spread the word of arm wrestling, and that's what we need, guys. And I like Nadia's idea with the whole at the gym when they have the TVs going. If we could get some airtime on that, put on one of the last Knuckles Up, put on one of the East versus West, have them playing that, and I don't see them being against that. It's going to gain interest in what they got going on, and it's a fitness thing as well.
Exactly, it's a great videos, recorded the videos and represent arm wrestling, That's why it's very, very cool when the people will see the great picture on the TV, not the like a bar or something.
They should put them by the cardio machines too. How they have
that's why what I say, the people relax and they watch and it's enjoying.
Yeah, that would be super cool. Like if everybody that goes to like a commercial gym or gyms like can just talk to the manager and be like, hey, can you guys play arm wrestling like every Wednesday or whatever, at least for an hour, 2 hours or something.
They have enough TVs in there. They could just run it at least on one fucking TV. They got fucking 35 TVs at the fucking gym.
And Steve, they do that all the time. I used to be sponsored at, when I was back in the fitness game, and I used to be sponsored by a couple of the local restaurants that were like health stores, and they had us make a couple of commercials, and it was so cool. For like 2 years, every person that was going to these, it was an export gym, which it's a big commercial gym. Everybody'd be calling me like, bro, I see your picture on, you're on commercial right now at the gym.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's also really cool if you get some of your videos up there of you arm wrestling, you're going to come like the local celebrity. Then when you're on the floor, they're like, wait, I just seen you on the TV, all that, that's pretty cool thing to also. So
and I wanna to like we must do it arm wrestling in the college, because I see a lot of people different kind of the occupation, the teachers, the doctors and something, you must to provide arm wrestling in the colleges and universities, because in my country we have a competition between universities. It's volleyball, basketball, and arm wrestling was been included too over there. That's why it's how the arm wrestling grow up from the young stage. Okay. That's why if somebody is interested, like they're not knowledgeable enough for the in arm wrestling, all techniques and everything, we can make something like a seminar or something to improve your knowledge, how to do exercise, how to prepare their self and everything. It will be so great when we will improve from the young stage. The people, they will grow with us, they will grow and they will spread arm wrestling more and more. Because look at this, the soccer, football, American football. All they say, hey mom, I want to go on a football, and all family they're going together. That's why it's how if the kid is so interesting about them wrestling, all family will support of that. All of them, they will come to like cheer for him, for her, or something, like that. Why we should not supposed to afraid to start to like, but you must to go and talk with the like with the principals or director of the colleges and universities, like that's why you must to we must to talk, we must to say, hey, look at this, Ukraine, Russia, Bulgaria, they have like a official arm wrestling as a sport between universities. They find who is the best, which university is the best in arm wrestling, that is the great.
One of the things we've been doing that any of you in the whole country can do is we've been in talks with the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. And the Girl Scouts want to come to our event now and bring their Girl Scout cookies, and the Boy Scouts want to come sell their popcorn and stuff like that. So that's a good avenue because they're all over the country for people that want to get kids involved in their tournaments. And it's as easy as reaching out to your local pack. But we've actually been talking to the leaders of the Boy Scouts, and we might be able to get arm wrestling or a strength sport as a badge. And we were talking with them about like either they could go to a practice or an event and compete, or as a group, they could build an arm wrestling table and donate it to a local practice to get that badge, which I thought would be pretty cool. And then the second thing that we were talking about earlier, yeah, that'd be cool as hell. There's a website you guys all can go to called Play Easy, and it's for any event organizers, destinations, facilities, and you make a profile on there and you post your event. And I've had all these venues hit me up and say, I want you to have your event at my venue, and no charge. Like it's like a place for like anybody going.
That info, dude.
Go check. Yeah, playeasy.com. It's cool as hell.
Well, like
Matt
Fish,
Knuckles up onto it too.
Coming with us to Montana. I'm saying he got hurt now, so he's healing up. But he was supposed to come with us to Montana. Matt Fish actually had and got arm wrestling into a school to start out as a sport, right, Dan? Am I right about that?
Yeah. No, he started up his own high school club.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's how I got in.
What do you have to do for safety? What do you have to do with the schools? Like, as far as like, is it just waivers? Is there something?
Yeah, we really had to go in a little bit more deeper than that, than just try to get that into just for from what he told me, he had to do a lot, with I think he got signed with the senator and the president of the school and stuff, and so you have to go through a couple of hoops to actually get that organized to be somewhere of a sport in the actual school, because I think that they're starting at from, what was it? Was it middle school?
I think it was actually high school, specifically high school. Yeah, I believe it was high school that he had started out, and he actually was I think a paraprofessional. So he had already had an existing relationship with the school. But for anybody who's a teacher, I know like there's like David Shubich, who's an existing teacher. He has an in with the physical education department as well. And any superintendent that's in charge of that school, they're going to have all those pathways to introduce something like this. Because as a club, obviously, it's not going to follow the same parameters as like a high school driven sport, but it's a club at this point, right? So that's a major step in the right direction for a high school, because then we can make it a high school team sport. Because that's what we want to see done. Because that's, we want the high school students to get more involved and get encouraged. Because how many of I don't know how you guys in the States, but there's 19, 20-year-olds that are coming out of the woodwork that are freaking monsters, and they're killing it. And, imagine if they learned at 16, 17 years old, they'll come in at, destroying people at 20 years old.
So I was saying this when I went to Turkey that time, and the day before the East versus West, they had a youth tournament, and that's when I realized how screwed we are in North America. When I seen probably it was like 600-700 people pulling, and it was all people from 13 to like 18, and I'm like, oh my God, they're like 10 years in front of us. How are we ever gonna catch up? They got all these monsters coming, and I'm like, we have our old school guys, and then maybe maybe you got like, maybe 20, 30 teams all together in our whole North America that are pulling. These guys got thousands of them. Like, so we need to do this just to stay up to par with the rest of the world, because they've been
Have you
doing
seen
this
the
for many years.
Kazakhstan schools that they
Oh
have?
my God, Andrebayev has 1,500
Yeah.
students in his own. You know what I mean? It's crazy,
Yeah.
but this is good that we're discussing this now. And if you guys are interested, we should make a group and we should start, a promotion group. And each person, we give each other little missions to do. Go to your local schools and let's start these clubs. Let's get over to the gyms. We got to start doing it on the small scale like that, because we got to that's a great way to bring in more people into the sport as well.
Secret missions.
Yeah,
I like the idea.
One of the problems with
the cops are about to get one of you guys. I don't know who, but
I know it's me.
Has to be Stephanie.
One of the problems with the school thing is this. So Josh Vinacore here in Philly, he got arm wrestling in his school when he was in high school. So he got it to be a club, and he got the gym teacher to like oversee it. But once he graduated, it went away. So you need like some volunteers from local teams to continue it and to show up and keep it going. Because once the arm wrestlers not in high school anymore, like the gym teacher did not keep it going. So you got to have some people willing to volunteer their time. And I think all of us would do that gladly.
That's one of the things to get it started is having someone who's an actual employee of the school district that is an arm wrestler as well. That is something that I'm sure there's dozens of us out, in each and every state and part of this nation. I don't think that there's got to be somebody who either has a family member who's associated or a significant other that's in a role of a teaching role that has a way in. That this guy Matt Fish, he invented this wheel, but we can recreate it fairly easily if we have the right people in place.
Dan, when I was in college over in Long Island, they showed up at my college. It was National Community College at the time, and I think it was Empire State Arm Wrestling. I don't know who was running that, but they came in through a tournament, and that was when I first really learned about arm wrestling. I still didn't even know it was a real thing, but I just remember I was like 150 some pounds, and I actually won my right and left hand class. You know what I mean? They put me up against like a super heavyweight. He was like the champ of his, and I actually beat the dude, and the whole crowd went crazy and everything. I just wish I would.
What year?
What was that?
What year?
I don't even remember the year. It was some time back, but it
I
was.
know Gene Camp used to run it.
All I remembered it was a younger dude they brought this small, and he was a pro arm wrestler, and they had it all set up because they thought it was going to be one of the big 300-pound football guys that was going to be going against him. But I kind of ruined their whole shit, and I beat this dude. So now it was just me versus pro, and the pro just he literally held me. But I mean, he was a small dude then. I still to this day been trying to figure out who threw that. I don't know who it was. I just remember they were called Empire State Arm Wrestling. I've always wondered who they were and all. So maybe it is Gene, because I know he's not that active in the arm wrestling world. But I might hit him up and just kind of find out.
Well, I think there it was a Joe Arias or something who took over after that or something like that.
It's Jack Arias, and it's the New York Arm Wrestling Association or something like that.
Yeah, they were the ones that if you use New York in arm wrestling, you're going to get a cease and desist letter or whatever. But I think they contacted me a couple years ago when I first started promoting, and I was in talk with them. But like you said, I think it changed hands over the years, and I know Jack is like running things. But now that you just brought that up, when I get off of here, I'm actually going to send him a message and see if it was him that came around. But I thought that was just an amazing thing. But they didn't really let us know that arm wrestling was a big thing then. It's like, we had that little tournament there at the school, and it was a great time, but they didn't like follow up with it, and they should have. I would have just kept going. I would have, I always look back and I'm like, damn, if I would have just started then and stuck with it and actually like arm wrestled on a table, holy shit, I'd be a killer by now, So, but that is a great thing that, more people should do, but, just not a one-off event. You got to go there,
Yeah.
teach people, make it a club like you guys are saying. I think that is, an amazing, amazing idea.
There was a suggestion in the chat about people going in the crowd and interviewing people at the tournament. And I was thinking that I would really like to have that job.
Yeah. You'd always be like, we're live. And you would just go up to people and they'd have no idea they're on it. Like, that was always fun. I love when you would do that.
But what if everybody went to a tournament and they were just expecting that? They're like, okay, when is Stephanie going to come up and is she going to hit me up? And I'm just going to sneak through and just get everybody.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Kind of like waiting for you, like for the mid show, and be like, so what do you think of the matches so far?
Steve, you got to bring her out there to the next event with the M
I
spot,
think
man. Have
because
her around the chat.
I'm definitely not boring. I make it fun.
I know you will. You definitely will.
I know some people that use meetup.com and they created like a meetup for an arm wrestling practice. And they said they get tons of people coming from that, like non-arm wrestlers, just for people looking for an activity group. And it's kind of a different kind of activity. And people see that and like, oh, I'll check that out. And then they're
people
hooked.
still use ArmBet?
I don't know.
I forgot
about that. Holy shit. Is
yeah,
that still
ArmBet. Hey, if you guys don't have the app, I haven't used it in forever, but ArmBet, I don't know if they ever updated it or what, but I mean, you can find your local arm wrestlers on that app.
There are a couple updates. There are a couple updates to it that you can see teams now. You can see,
I haven't even seen that.
Yeah, you can see your local teams now. It's kind of cool. It does. I think that anybody who wants to be a part of that, though, they have to pay a premium of, I think it's only like $19 or $20 a year, which is nothing to get your team name out there and say, hey, look, there's a team nearby to practice at. Because all too often I hear stories of people in the States saying, I don't know where I can practice. Well, download this app. It'll tell you where people are at. Also, Arm Fighter, not only ArmFighter has that, but armfighter.com also has local teams too listed on it.
And events.
I like that idea.
If you're throwing events, you should list them on ArmFighter. They have a whole event section.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the ArmFighter.
Serenity now says youth arm wrestling in North America has to compete with huge major sports that could make you a multimillionaire if you go pro. They don't have that in Eastern countries. Yeah, I understand it, but a lot of people, if they knew arm wrestling was an actual sport, I think they would jump in because not everybody's looking to come, big time pro. And, you kind of got to dedicate your life. We're getting to watch it with like Tyson Bajan, as far as coming a pro football player. I mean, this dude has dedicated his life since 5 years old every day, and he just barely got in by the skin of his teeth. You know what I mean? So, not everybody's in that reality of chasing the dreams of being, in one of those pro sports, but people are looking for, kind of like a hobby sport that, they could get in. And once you get in arm wrestling, the beauty of it is, what I see more than any other sport, it's like you come part of a family. You get all your friends. And I mean, I feel like some of you guys are like family to me. I know we are always connected and we're all over the world. We look at this right now.
All of you.
If I found arm wrestling earlier on in my life, I would have been out of trouble a lot quicker.
Exactly.
I want to do arm wrestling at the school near my house, but I'm not allowed within 500 feet.
Well, I was thinking when you were going after the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, you just wanted the free cookies, bro.
Yeah, well,
Definitely wanted the cookies.
That's one of the perks of getting the Girl Scouts involved.
So, guys, I gotta go. I gotta log off and get to DoorDash. So
Thank you for coming on, Stephanie.
All right, you guys are fine.
You.
See you later. Okay.
See ya.
Dave
Paul,
yes, Matt.
I was just going to say, what do you think? When you get new people that come to your practices, where do they say that they've seen arm wrestling, or how did they find out about your practice or arm wrestling in the first place? Just quickly, like for us here in Adelaide, usually they've seen Devon Larratt's videos, or surprisingly, they would have seen some of the stuff that I've been putting out, which is awesome. But then they always go and find our page through Facebook. It seems to be the fastest way for them to find it.
I kind of experienced the same thing, and it's kind of crazy, bro. Is some of these people would come and they would be like in shock to see me in person. They're like, "Yo, I've been following you on YouTube, and you know, I can't believe I'm here with you right now." So YouTube is like a major avenue for us to get out there. And you know, the first people that they always say, just like you said, is usually Devon, they say Travis, but through that, you know, they'll find my channel and then they realize that I'm local, and they're like, holy shit, I could go and arm wrestle with him and all. A lot of people, they think I'm a lot better at arm wrestling than I actually am, you know. You know, it's really cool, and I've experienced that quite often, you know. So YouTube is definitely getting us out there, you know. And it's once they go down that rabbit hole, they're finding all the smaller YouTube channels, and you know, if you have like a consistent show, you know, you're going to be one of them on the list that they're looking, you know, to find and connect with, you know, for sure. Chris, I want to get you involved in here a little, man. Like, kind of tell us what goes down in Florida, because I know Florida's got, you know, huge arm wrestling community and all. Where are most people like hearing about it? Are you guys bringing in a lot of new people? You got your new organization, and you've been throwing events. Kind of fill us in what you've experienced.
Man, I'm doing everything I can. Every day, everywhere I go, I run into somebody that goes, "Oh, you arm wrestle? That's cool. I see that on YouTube. You know that Devon guy?" Everyone goes, "Oh, do you know that Devon guy?" Everywhere I go, it's getting real popular. I've been spreading the word at all the gyms. I've been leaving flyers everywhere for my next event. Like I was saying, we're going to be donating to the Hurricane Helen and Milton victims at my next tournament, October 26th, at the Convo Retreat Lounge in Pompano. We're also doing a basic needs drive as well for everybody. We're going to be collecting goods. But yeah, it's everywhere, man. We're trying to put it everywhere. Like I said, Andre moved from Hollandale Beach to Davie. So now just from doing that, you know, everyone in Davie now is like, "Oh man, I heard this guy's arm wrestling over here." So word's getting around, man. You know, it's getting real popular real fast, and YouTube is definitely helping with that. And I like the idea of putting it in the schools as well. That's a pretty good idea, especially with the wrestling program or whatever. I like
Chris,
that.
do you have a schedule that you're going to be putting out for 2025 of your events and all?
Mine?
Yes,
I want to real bad, but I'm still learning how this all goes. I'm still agreeing to this. I'm still figuring it all out. It's just me. I don't even know what I'm going to do. If we're going to have one every month, if it's just going to be several a year. I'm still figuring that out, but hopefully in a little bit I'll have a better answer for you.
Well, Chris, I'm going to tell you
right now.
I'm going to tell you the best thing right now, bro, is get out that schedule as quick as possible, because, you know, I want to plan my year out. And, you know, I'm going to, like I told everybody, I'm going to really go all in January. I'm going to go down to my condo in Florida. I'm going to kind of just hibernate for 6 months over there and, you know, really get a lot of table time experience. That's why if you could put out your league, I'd like to know Pro Gear's schedule as well, so I could kind of like dial in which tournaments I'm going to go to. And when I seen that you guys were throwing tournaments down in South Florida, I was so happy. And I actually hit you up and I was asking like who's throwing these events, and I didn't know it was you, bro. You just said it was a family thing, so I was just like, okay. And then I found out later it was you, and I'm like, why didn't you tell me it was you throwing them, bro?
Look, I really didn't know what was going on. I wasn't sure how this was all going to go, if we were even going to do it. You know, like I said, it's just I'm going one step at a time. You know, day by day with this. So, it's a new thing. You know, we're just doing it, like I said, little by little. Yeah. I mean, it is a family affair because I basically got nobody else helping me but my family. And I got my brother Ernie helping me. I have my nephew down reffing. You know, I'm just doing what we can do. You know.
Well, keep me
But,
posted,
gotta get
brother.
the schedule going.
I would like to help out. You know, when I'm down there, you know, I would love to help out. I'd love to support. I support all the leagues in Florida, and that's where, you know, like kind of my home base for arm wrestling. So keep me in the loop, bro. And whatever I could do to help out, man, I'd love to, you know, make the event better. Any kind of help you guys need or any of my resources, I'll definitely help out with that, brother.
I appreciate that. It means a lot.
Chris is a good dude too. I met him down at the Sarah Bachman Classic. We got to hang out a little.
Oh, he's a great, bro. I pulled him a couple of tournaments, man.
He's
Dude's an absolute beast, and he's got the character.
Oh,
He comes
you
in
killed me,
with the
dude. You
cheese.
killed me, man.
Oh, but you were
I'm
a
a little
beast,
stronger
bro.
now, though.
Hell yeah, man. But we're in different weight
Thank you.
classes, though. You're still 198, right?
Well, you know, I am right now. I was about 220 a little while ago, but I fluctuate 220, 198. I might drop to 170 if I can, 150, as I want to get ripped. You know what I'm saying? I'm too fat over here.
Man.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll see,
I'm
but I don't like to-
176, man.
Oh, yeah, it's hard for me to lose weight. I love eating. You know what I'm saying? I got that Italian blood in me. You know, I'm always
Yeah.
eating the pasta, the pizza. It's tough, bro. It's tough.
Fuck, it's a good thing I'm not Italian.
Man, I'm not Italian, and I love that stuff, man.
I could be 4 times the size I'd be on my 600-pound life.
What's up, Eric?
What's up, man?
Merlin, and invite Merlin
Not
for
much.
the cooking.
Oh my God, then we'll
Merlin,
really
yeah.
gain some weight. I heard she's like the best cook there is.
I need
for
those
real.
recipes, Merlin.
Yeah.
Marlene, are we gonna see you down in Florida this year? Because I know that you make the trip sometimes and all.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm definitely trying to. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. I'm definitely trying to make it to Florida more since, you know, Sarah be hosting the practices and stuff. That's like a golden opportunity. So definitely
yeah.
trying to be out there more for sure.
And we got to get Nadia to make the trip down as well. Come enjoy the palm trees and warm weather, and let's get the ladies' classes popping down there for sure.
After that it will be next hurricane. 7 grades. 7 point.
Yeah, right.
If I will come.
We got a super chat from White Wolf for $10. He says, Paul, you and the 98% watching Arm God's AI animation on Arm God's channel. Some pretty funny shits over there. Even had you walking the Sopranos theme, and that loser Ryan was representing, laughing out loud. Thank you for that, White Wolf. You know, if you guys haven't already, Arm God's been putting out that AI animation, and you know, they had Who Stole Devon's hammer and all, and they've been, oh my God, I was just dying laughing when I was watching that. They are on top of that with those cartoons for real. And what do we got? Shubidge says, Merlene, don't take this wrong way, but I could whip up a good breakfast. Okay. Pro Panja, he says, good point made. The youth arm wrestling has to compete with other pro sports. I remember reading the decline of heavyweight boxing in the U.S. because the big guys chose NBA, NFL over boxing. That's until Jake Paul got into boxing, bro.
No. Hell no.
He's changed it. Hey, bro, you can't hate on that, bro. He's got, you know, boxing in the mainstream again. You know, hate him or love him, he definitely did it, bro.
I'll accept that.
So I want to bring this up: Mike Tyson or Jake Paul. Let's go around the room and get your predictions on this.
Tyson.
Okay. Merlene, what are you thinking?
Tyson, man. Stop playing with
Steve,
Tyson, man.
Chris,
him. Yeah, stop playing with him.
Tyson all the way. I can't stand Jake Paul. I'm a Tyson fan.
Seriously, man.
Nadia,
Me too, Tyson. No problem.
Dan.
Tyson all the way, man. He's gonna knock his jaw right off.
Better question: does anybody in the room think Jake Paul has a chance?
I gotta go against the grain,
all
baby.
right, man.
Jake Paul.
And a pie.
Jake Paul.
Yeah, I think he does. I think Tyson is a one-round wonder. I think that his age and his ability is that he'll put it all in that first round. If Jake can stay away, I think his cardio, his movement is pretty good. I think Tyson gasses very quickly. If you have a look at the Roy Jones Jr. match, and I know that was his first step back in years, but he was done after probably 45 seconds. I think if Jake can avoid that first round, I think he'll win it by decision.
I got Jake Paul too.
I really want
has a
Mike
point.
Tyson to get the win just because I don't want this generation to just dismiss Mike Tyson as being one of the best boxers. And Jake Paul gets that win, we're not going to hear anything about Tyson, and it's kind of going to taint his history and all. But I think Matt is correct where, if he does last the first couple of rounds and could not get knocked out, I think, it could be a problem. I think Jake Paul could definitely surprise a lot of people in a long drawn out match. And, I don't think he's going to knock him out, but I think, he can win that decision.
He's a big guy.
It's only if Tyson doesn't knock him out, which I think Tyson's hit is just that much more powerful than Jake's ever experienced. He doesn't have a jaw to handle that. He just doesn't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, but Tyson's always been the smaller man. He has to be able to get in on that. I don't think he has that bob and weave speed that he used to have back in the day to be able to get close enough. I mean, he might do it. He could win by knockout. He definitely has the ability to do it. I just see Jake Paul.
Why was the fight postponed though?
I don't know. There was some issues, some injuries or something. I'm not sure what happened with that.
Yeah, I think Tyson might have had an injury, but isn't it locked in November? Do we know the date?
It was locked in like fucking 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah, but I think November they're going at it. Drew, if you can, man, maybe put up. I know you're
November
the man.
15th.
November 15th, perfect. Yeah, I'm going to be tuning into that one. I can't wait. Mike Tyson was like my hero growing up. I loved him. I kind of like cried that day when Buster Douglas beat him. That was a bad day for me, man. I was just in shock. But if you guys do remember the context, then Buster Douglas' father just passed away the week before. I mean, he had an angel on his shoulder, and he wanted to prove himself. So that he did have the story and everything behind it all. And I think Tyson was just not taking him for real and kind of was in party stage at that time of his career.
I want to see Barry Bourne versus Dave Morocco too.
Oh, there you go, the comeback. Hell yeah. That would be that'd be some experience.
I think there'd be a lot of upset people if Jake Paul does win.
Oh my God, yeah.
Dan, you're right in his area, man. Have you checked out the mansion, bro? That dude's mansion is crazy.
Nah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he's right. He's in Puerto Rico, and they were showing like pictures of the inside, and holy crap, bro, that dude is living it, man.
Puerto Rico is a pretty big island, bro. It takes like 3 hours to get from one side to the other, so he could be on the other side of the island for all I know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's within 3 hours. I mean, it's worth a drive to go check that shit out, bro. I mean, it is official.
Sit outside his gate with an arm wrestling table and challenge him.
That would be a smart move right there. You know what it was? Travis actually had an in with him. I think it was somebody that was related to Jake Paul. Travis is friends with. And, that was always thrown out there. Where Travis was thinking of trying to make something like that happen, and maybe that could happen one day. That'd be pretty cool to get him involved in our sport. I don't know if he'd be willing to take that chance of possibly breaking an arm. And I know he's really focused with boxing, but I mean, just think if that dude just got on an arm wrestling table once, what that would do for arm wrestling. Hate it or love it, that dude gets out there, and that would be big for arm wrestling.
What do you guys think about Brian Shaw and all the strongmen getting into it, and Eddie Hall, all that?
Love it,
and I think that's going to be.
Love it.
That's going to bring
a match soon.
That's going to bring a lot of good exposure to the sport.
Yeah,
especially with Brian Shaw.
Do you think it would be going to be bigger than like Larry Wheels getting in the sport and all?
Yes, definitely.
Now, do we think that they're going to stick with it? Because we all know as arm wrestlers, you need 3-4 years to be in it to really, take it for real and start really learning how to arm wrestling. Do you think we're going to be able to keep these guys for that long?
I can't answer that one. I'm only 2 years in.
So you still don't know how to arm wrestle. So sit in the corner and be quiet. No, I'm kidding.
I got to find. I need a big corner.
I don't see they will improve arm wrestling on a great level, because the strongman powerlifters, they're different techniques. They're so slow. They're when you try to explain them techniques, they're so like a turtle. Their movement and everything, they still will do everything on a use their power.
But when
they
you're
will not see.
that big, Nadia, I think you're coming in with such an advantage. And a good example would be Shaquille O'Neal. Do you guys remember when they had Devon and
Yeah.
Ian Carnegie
I
on
watched
that? And Shaquille beat Ian Carnegie. And I mean, Ian Carnegie is a big name in our arm wrestling world, and the dude is a beast. And for Shaquille to come in there, not knowing what he's doing, but just being that large, I mean, that definitely, that's something. And Brian Shaw, I would say, would be a lot stronger than Shaquille O'Neal. So,
Yeah,
do you think that changes things?
absolutely.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's still like people will use over, because to me the techniques is over than the power.
Yeah, but when you get that big, it's like, how do you deal with if he just learns a basic top roll? How do you deal with that? I mean, you can't even reach that high. Like, it's just gonna be.
Well,
I'm
what
saying
was
you need a big person to go up against a bigger person.
what she's saying is they're not gonna be developing their technique as fast as somebody that is lacking on the power end.
Yeah,
but bro, how much technique do you need to know? If he just learns a basic top roll for 6 months with that power and those levers, I mean, bro, you know what kind of guy it's going to take to take that down? A good example is Rickard Borman. Rickard Borman is not even that big. Yes, he's big, and he's 6'4" and a monster, but he's only a year in, and he's doing what he's doing. Now look at Brian Shaw. That is an absolute genetic freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's
We
he
saw
going to
what
look like in
happened.
1 year?
Look at Leonidas. Leonidas just went up against Brzezinski. I mean, was he 2.5 years into the sport? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So look, that's what I'm saying. Imagine you get a guy that's 100 pounds bigger, 150 pounds bigger than Leonidas. You're going to get some, you're going to get a lot more power. And even like you said, how much more technique do you really need when you have a lot more of that power that'll take over? He's going to learn eventually, but I just think the bigger, the better, and the more power you're going to have behind it. But you're always going to need technique. But either way, look at the size of him. You know what I mean?
If he will get a great coach who will like get him a great top row, okay, not just a powerful top row, because a lot of people, they are fight by the top row, but if you will see on the matches and everything, you will see how it's so sloppy top row, because like it must be a perfect top row. That's why he must get a great coach who will get him a very, very great like top row. Yes, after 3 years he can do it.
Well,
But
Nadia,
if
who
do
would you recommend as his coach? Who would you like to see him go under the wing of? Give us somebody that would be like the ideal coach for him, and not Devon. Let's say somebody else.
No. For the top rows or for the hook or for somebody. What?
For
Which
anything,
one?
just to make this dude like unstoppable.
To me, like I tell you, because top row, I tell you, like it's different, like so hard. Maybe from Russia, like they have a so good, like, because all Russians they fight by the top row. Very rare when they do in a hook or side pressure. They use that, but most of them, the fighters from Russia, they're top rollers. If you will see, like
true.
on the videos and everything.
I'm thinking the guy would be Travis.
No.
Oh, now you didn't like that. Travis sucks.
I think Travis could beat Brian Shaw.
Look at this. In our wrestling, a lot of factors are playing. Angles, okay, everything, shoulders, everything, because it's so hard to like get your right techniques, okay? It's so hard work, really so hard. That's why to come just to do it exercises is okay, but it must a correction by the coach, by somebody who will say, hey, over there you're doing a little bit, you're doing not right way, and fix it, your mistakes, And from the beginning, if he will lose these three years by somebody, trust me, he will get a bad habits. He will do so bad mistakes. Okay, a lot of.
Because I think it's going to be quicker than 3 years, though, for him. I say 1 year of consistent training and, some competing along the line, along the way. Like, I mean, like tournament pulling, not just the super matches. Cause we seen like how Larry got, he went with the super match way. And I think that was kind of the wrong way to approach it. And it kind of put a bad taste in his mouth because he kept losing and all that. I would like to see him go and compete in tournaments. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No. I don't think it's gonna. I think they're gonna go and they're gonna put them right into the super matches, and I don't think that is the best way to get experience. Do you guys agree with me on that? Do you think tournaments?
Yeah,
I agree.
Jordan's where he should be at. Yeah.
I think that what Larry did was very clever from a marketing perspective. I mean, going up against Schoolboy was a fantastic choice as an opponent from a marketing point of view. You have Larry Wheels, who's a giant, muscular, humongous guy with a huge fitness following and setting all these insane records of all these lifts and stuff. And then who's he going up against? He's going up against a school kid who wears a backpack and a Mickey Mouse t-shirt, wears glasses. And it's like, okay, well, obviously from the mainstream perspective, they're thinking, oh, well, Larry's going to just crush this kid. And then, obviously it didn't play out that way at all. And I think a lot of people realize it's like, oh, how did that guy win? Like, is Larry either really weak or is there more to this arm wrestling thing than meets the eye? So I think from what Larry did with that for his first match was really clever. I really respect him for doing it.
Robbie Russell has a good one. Someone like Laladen would give him a lot of benefit to height. The way he wants to stand, I think, would accelerate his fundamentals. I definitely agree with that. And then I just wanted to go back. Travis, I was just joking with that. Travis is one of the best at coaching people. He doesn't coach people, but that man knows arm wrestling and knows his move so good. But I think Travis's setup and everything is more geared to the smaller, super heavyweight that doesn't have the leverage advantages. And I think that's why he pulls the way he does. And he was so good because if you look at him compared to the other supers, he was a smaller guy. His hand was smaller. He didn't have the levers. So he really, arm wrestles like a smaller guy. And that's why, like, I really liked training under Travis because, I have the smaller levers and all. And the way he taught me was very well. But as far as with Brian Shaw, I think you need somebody else. And I think Laladen, Robbie nailed it with that. I think that is a good one. I think anybody that's really, really tall, because the other thing is, being that tall kind of does work against you with the table. You got to kind of like, look at Laladen. He's like pretty much sitting down just to get his hip up against the table. You need to keep that all in perspective. So, somebody tall, like, Devon would be a really good person for him to learn because Devon's got that height. Who else would be out there that could be, a good asset for Brian Shaw, do you think?
Cordecha.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
I like that. I definitely
Yeah, I think there's a difference between being an athlete and being a coach. Because you might have somebody like a Cadetia or a Latin who obviously have the similar structure in terms of height, but maybe they're not able to convey exactly how they do what they do. There's a certain people that have this skill of coaching and being able to explain technique and break things down very well. And it's not always the athlete because maybe they don't really understand how to enunciate like how they're doing something. And it's like, well, how are you doing that position? It's like, you just do it. Like you just put your arm there and it goes. And, so for somebody else, it's like maybe they're not the ideal person to learn from.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
Another great coach that I always talk up is Bob Brown. That dude is just, he understands and can explain it in a whole nother way, and it's not just one style. Most guys, like Travis and like Jerry, they got their one style and they know that style, so they can teach you that style. But if you're looking for an overall coach that just understands arm wrestling in every way possible, Bob Brown, dude, I'm telling you, man, the way he could explain it and break down is just amazing. And if you guys haven't and you're new to the sport, get over to Bob Brown's channel. We did like a whole series, and I can't tell you how many people have hit me up and just like said, thank you so much for putting that together with Bob. And he also worked with Pavlo and he worked with Sarah Bachman. And it's like, find out who's close to your style and go watch that series. It really helped out a lot. Just
Bob's the only reason that Paul beat me.
Yeah, he's right. He's definitely right. And then another thing I want to make mention of, this week we're gonna have Bob Brown's gonna be coming on the channel. We just had an interview with Yanni Liliv from Bulgaria. He's the Bulgarian lawyer that he has a lawsuit open against WAF. You know, he has a civil case and he has a criminal case. And you know, he kind of came on the 98 and he set the stage. He kind of, if you haven't already, go over to Ryan's channel, the 98, and go check out that interview. It was kind of like the base for what's coming. You know, he laid things out, but you know, there wasn't enough time to really get into, you know, the finer details. So what I wanted to do, because I don't have enough knowledge of the past, I wanted to bring somebody that does. And Bob Brown used to be on the original board of WAF right when it split. And when it split, he wanted nothing to do with the new version of WAF. So I felt like bringing these two together, we could really dive in and figure out everything, because I think a lot of people were getting confused because, you know, Yanni was just assuming, you know, where he comes from, everybody knows the whole controversy with WAF, where we're kind of at that beginning stages. We really don't know everything, and we kind of need like the context of before and how did we get to where we are today. So my head was kind of spinning. I took a few things from it, but it was just a little over my head. And I kept saying to myself, if it's over my head, I think a lot of other people are just completely lost at what was going on. So we're going to kind of really dive in with Bob Brown this week, and I'll be posting that up on the channel. So stay tuned, guys. And if you haven't, definitely check out the 98 podcast with that. I think we were on for like 2 hours, and you know, it was a good base. And then the other thing to check out is the Jordan Sonoff interview I did with him. That was the first time I actually heard, because I've always heard WAF corrupt, WAF doing this, but I never actually seen actual circumstances where they broke it down and said, this is what they're doing. This is where money is being hidden. This is where scheming is going on. He went into a half an hour thing of breaking down what he's experienced, and my mouth was just dropped. And now I realize, because before that, I kept saying to myself, you know, there's no money in arm wrestling. Why is everybody fighting the way? That is totally false. There is a lot of, there's probably like 1 million, 2 million on the plate every year. And this is all going ciphering through WAF. You know, there's mega money. So this is like a racket they got going, and they are kind of controlling everything on the other side of the pond. And the reason why we're making such a big deal about this now is it's on its way here to North America. And, you know, they're starting their games. They're banning people. They're going, if you got an IFA referee, if you have an IFA janitor in the building, you will be banned, and WAF guys can't go. So, you know, Ryan just made the round table, and he's kind of uniting all the North American promoters. We're going to be doing, it's actually the promoters worldwide, because Matt and the AWE are going to be a part of it as well. And we're all just kind of, you know, it's not just for that, but it's just for us to come together and support each other and just help each other out. So I encourage you guys, if you guys are a promoter or organizer, you want to get involved, everybody's welcome to come part of this round table and kind of just catch up on what's going on, because there's been a lot of dirty things going on, and you know, people getting banned left and right. And I feel like there's going to be a wave coming in North America unless the people stand up to this bullshit. You know, so encourage you guys to educate yourself on that. Nadia, do you have any knowledge of, you know, the whole WAF? And because I know you've been an OG in the sport, you've been part of the Mazarenko and all that. So maybe you could kind of weigh in on some of the stuff, or, you know, you don't have to.
I attend the European Championships, World Championships, and a lot of factors. Everybody really thought arm wrestling doesn't have it. But the athletes in each country, like in my country, the government give you money for the food, for the hotel, for the trip, and everything. And what the coaches, they do, like on my experience, they cut your food, they don't provide for the athletes all monies for food per day. They just get you on one time on a buffet or something, and that's it. And he pay that money. He doesn't give it to you. Okay, what you wanna buy, you go and buy it. But no, he dictate to you. You go on a buffet one per day, and that's it. And after that, just spend your money, own money. And but the rest of them, he put it in his pocket, you know. And the same, like WAF right now, what they do, you cannot reserve the hotel which is better for you for the price, cheaper or expensive. They say every athletes, every countries must to stay in the same hotel. If you don't stay in the same hotel, they just doesn't let you pull in a world on a WAF, on a world championship. Okay, it means they rent the hotel, yeah, like, and they, okay, you must to pay $150. Doesn't matter from which country you came, you must pay. Doesn't matter where you must get that money. You know, like some people came by their money, like me. And Kelowna, Canada last championship, I got a third place over there, and the country doesn't pay me the money. It was been $3,000 for that place, and they didn't pay me. That why, listen, I'm fine, I'm okay, good luck them, and I don't know where the money, they didn't even contact with me, you know, like this. And a lot of factors, so bad, which is and the president of our country, he cannot say nothing because he's so tied with the like a president of WAF. Yeah, they don't want to get like a war or something, or maybe they divide the money or something. I don't know how, because look, it's a really, even the people go to hotel, they don't pay like $150, yeah, but the country give it to them $150 per day. They just pay $50 per night, yeah. And what is that $100? It's where, and they just did a fake recipe. They pay 150 and calculate by 7 days or 10 days they're staying over there. It will be from one person. It will be great money, $1,000. like this. I say just a couple of that fact. You know, like this. That's why. Who knows how they do the doping test? Nobody knows. They just wanna this, and this, and okay, this is negative, this is positive. I don't believe in that. Okay, that is really like not a real doping control.
Another thing is, like Jordan was explaining, and so was the lawyer, they would arrange these training camps in Bulgaria, and it would have Jordan as one of the coaches on there. So the government's paying supposedly to Jordan, but the problem is Jordan didn't even know this was going on, or his name was being used. So they're making these false training camps, and that's where a lot of the money is being hidden. Now, if you multiply this by all the countries that WAF is controlling, I mean, you could see what's going on. It's like a racket. These dudes are bringing in mega money. And if you dare step out and say something about this, you're now banned. And not only are you banned, you could also have your whole team banned. So now your whole team turns on you. And it's like, it's just crazy when you think of that. And now I see it coming here. And it's coming through the organizations because they're using this as a weapon. Like for instance, East versus West. This is Engen's weapon now, is he's using the WAF. Oh no, I have nothing to do with bans or whatever. But he goes and makes a phone call to the president at WAF, and now that person is banned, whoever he told. What I mean? And that's where the problem is falling, and we can't let this go down because, North America, even the small promotions out there, they're getting knocked out. Or, we had Chris come on from Beast Mode in Tennessee, and, he's experiencing it. And we're like, he's just throwing his local tournaments, and the politics are affecting him and bringing in athletes, and they're saying, oh, well, you're using IFA referees. No, he's an independent person that doesn't represent IFA, WAF. They're wearing his referee shirts. So they're not representing any of these people, and it's being used as a weapon. Like, oh, well, they hit up the athlete that he was flying in and all and say, listen, bro, they're using IFA referees. You could be banned. So once these people from across the pond hear this, they're getting a salary from their government. That will stop tomorrow if they go and they agree to this. So it's like, it's affecting us here. and North America is a free market, and we want to keep it like that. We don't want this arm wrestling. We're all here to grow the sport and to see the growth, not to be, controlled by a dictatorship. That's just stupid, and it's kind of stepping on everybody's toes. What's everybody's thoughts on this whole thing? Freddie, I want to hear you.
At the end of the day, I think that WAF is trying to do the right thing because, like, sport to have growth, I think there has to be one solid organization, and I think that's what WAF is trying to do, and that's why they enforce the WADA, and that's why they're like the legitimate world champions, right? But the thing is that there's so much corruption in there that there can't really be growth. And then you have like IFA, and then you have like other organizations, right? That just we don't know who the real world champions are. Maybe the East versus West guys, but then you get the drugs involved, and it doesn't make the sport respectable, I guess. So it's just so tough to know what organization is right. I totally think that WAF has the right idea, but at this point, I don't think that they're the ones that are going to unify the sport. There has to be an organization that unifies the sport, like the NFL, right? Or the NBA or the UFC. There has to be somebody. I would like to think that WAF would be the people, but at this point, there's no way. So I don't know. It's tough.
Well, Freddie, what I want you to do, brother, is I want you to watch the show that I got coming up. Once I get it all locked in and all, and I'm gonna look back to you. I want to hear your feedback after you hear, what's discussed between this lawyer and Bob Brown, and then just let me know your still thoughts on WAF and how they're going. I just see a mega problem when there's so much money on the table, and it brings greed, and and I think that's kind of what's going on, and it kind of lost the whole of just trying to grow the sport. I feel like people are just putting in their pockets and rather than doing the right thing. And when you have an organization that doesn't have elections and people are just taking on a title as I'm the supreme leader, I think that's a problem. I mean,
but there has to be somebody that unifies the sport, Paul. There has to be somebody that's kind of a dictator. There has to be.
But do you agree? Like, let's give an example for North America. We have that dude, Simon. Simon is the leader of North America, but who's elected this man? There used to be a board. There's no more board. Simon just said, I'm the leader. And, the president over in Bulgaria says, yes, Simon, you're a leader because you've been loyal to us. How is that going to work? You know what I mean? Like, if you had a fair election, then I'd say, okay, well, the people voted you in. But when you don't have a fair election, I don't see it coming to a good outcome.
There needs to be a commissioner. There needs to be like a commissioner that buys out the sport, like somebody like Roger Goodell or like somebody like Dana White, somebody who's gonna buy the sport and protect the sport and unify the sport.
Another thing is too is that if we want to make this a mainstream sport, professional as baseball and football and everything else, they're gonna they gotta test, dude. They gotta test.
Yeah, because that's the first thing people say. Oh, they're all juiced up, like it doesn't count.
Yep, exactly. You know what I mean? So if you want to make this a real professional mainstream sport, you have to do it just like every other sport does it.
That's what I'm saying. WAF has the right idea. There has to technically be a dictator that unifies the sport.
There's the way that it would work is there will be one promotion that will rise above them all, and if you look at MMA and the UFC and the way that it worked there, I mean, MMA wasn't a big thing until the UFC really came along, and they were massively in debt right up until like probably UFC 17. They actually sold the company about UFC 12 or something like that, which is when Dana White and the Fertitta brothers took over, and they really pushed the sport to the next level. But they were still in the bankruptcy stages up until the Ultimate Fighter reality show took them to that point where they could actually start breaking even and then start putting their events on throughout all of North America, because they started getting banned in every state. So they had to work with the athletic commissions. They had to come up with unified rules. They had to create a structure for athletes to get permission from the athletic commissions to run an event in each state. So slowly they went through, and they'd get Texas, and then they'd get California, and then New York was the very last one that they ended up getting, which was another story. But they become the dominant force for mixed martial arts, and people didn't know the sport as MMA. They knew it as UFC fighting, and people go, "Oh, do you fight UFC?" Was the saying. And they sort of were able to capture that market and then establish themselves as the leader and the forefront of that sport. And people, whenever they see cage fighting, it's synonymous now with the UFC. So for a promoter to do the similar thing in arm wrestling, they'd have to have a significant capital investment to be able to wear those losses, because you are going to sit in a loss for a long period of time where you're trying to establish the sport and build that audience and get to a point where you can become that dominant force. And if everyone recognizes your organization as the place, then that's where everyone's going to want to arm wrestle, and everyone's going to see their champions as the real world champion, regardless as to what else is happening throughout the world. So I still see WAF as like the amateur side of things, and it's there, and it's got tournaments, and they run that. But in terms of getting to the mainstream audience, there needs to be, or hopefully at some point in time, there will be a promotion that will capture the audience and establish themselves as the market leader.
WAF is kind of like the Olympics, but they just don't pay anybody and they're not on TV.
Yeah, I think with absolute power comes absolute corruption. So,
yeah, Freddie, I really want you to listen to what they're saying is going on behind the doors of WAF before you make that, because I kind of thought the same as you until I actually am hearing exactly what's going on now. And this lawyer is opening up the books of WAF.
Oh, I know they're corrupt.
But you got to hear the actual what they're doing, and then you'll come to an understanding. I think you might listen to them and be like, no, I still like WAF being that leader.
Yeah, I'm down to listen to it. On what channel is it? You said
it's going to be on my channel this week. I haven't locked in the exact date and time, but I will keep everybody posted, and we'll get that out there.
We'll share that.
And then Drew24, he says, no, we need an arm wrestling constitution we follow and adhere to, not a person to follow, and committee that can be voted in from different countries and organizations. I really like that, Drew.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I think the dominant market, the dominant promotion can make their own rules and make their own sets if they're recognized as the leader in the industry.
So, guys, just so you know, we're going to be on 15 more minutes. We're gonna cut this off at midnight Eastern time. So let's just get in our closing arguments and all that. Brian, what do you got to say over there?
I said lightweight.
What did Engen say? What does Engen got to say about this right now?
Engen? I don't even know.
Where's your Engen pitch? Where's your Engen face, bro?
So
Come on, man.
Invite him on, dude. Oh wait, there he is. You're all banned from our wrestling.
Is that the mask you fell asleep on? You fell asleep one of the 98 shows with one of the masks on?
Oh, that was my Kanye West.
Kanye. So I assume by natural order you're gonna get a Diddy mask.
I gotta get a Diddy mask, dude, so we can have a freak off.
I'm waiting for the cutout. When is the cutout being released, bro? Because so far I've been the only cutout made for the 98. I want to see somebody else get it.
Engen will be at the next Knuckles Up and the next Winter Blast.
Oh, I love it.
This is gonna be bad.
Yeah.
So, what's some other events that we got coming up that everybody's excited about?
Back to
when is that? Jerry and Levon.
December, King of Table, right? Do we have a date
it's
on
King
that?
of Table.
Think so, yeah.
What's King of Table, is it? Nice.
I think Jerry might have the best chance.
What's everybody's thoughts on that?
Yeah, I got Jerry on that one.
Style, big matches.
I want that press to go right fucking through him.
I'd love to see that.
That'd be great.
It's depend how Levan will be prepared and how he recovered with his wrist,
I was gonna say, what do you think, Nadia?
I think Levan, I give it to him 55.
Ooh.
Do you think it's gonna matter that Levon's actually got to make the travel, across the pond?
You must understand, arm wrestling it's so big, and all points for preparation is playing. Yeah, in which way you will win or you will lose. Yeah, how I say before the Levan he got injuries his wrist. Yeah, and he didn't fight a long time, like maybe 1.5 years. Yeah, he didn't got super much with anybody. It's enough for recovering his wrist, and he started again prepare his like a greater food. Take super mass, eat the super mass. I think he will win. He will be so fresh. He will be so good, and that's why I give to Levan 55.
Well,
The
I
strap
hope
is gonna make the difference.
Because Jerry he doesn't possess a lot of techniques. Okay, Levan he does. He's even much more faster, Levan, and that's why I give it to Levan.
You
But
think
Nadia,
Levant's
what did
faster?
you think about Alex Kadecha versus Jerry? Were you surprised at that outcome?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I expected because the even in before in Canada he lost too. Yeah, Kurdecha. Yeah. With whom he got a super match in Canada. Yeah, that way Kurdecha he got a mass, but he doesn't present really like maybe he's not. He doesn't prepare himself how he must do it. You know, like he must be like. Everybody is a black horse. That way, you must be on 100% prepared for that. That way, maybe he little bit like ignore something, some points, but you never should not supposed to like thought you're the best. Be so 100% confident.
Yeah,
That's why maybe he was been so 100% of confident because his mass, his everything grow up, and he's bigger. He thought he's better, yeah, but not Jerry. Jerry just surprised him, yeah. That's why I expected of that because Jerry because East and West for Jerry it was been like a window in Europe, yeah. I can say like this, and that's why he prepared himself very very well, and he just put all his like $100 on his spot, and that's it. You know, like get that back.
We got a comment. It says Levon is going to break Jerry's arm. Jerry's arm has never faced the power he is going to be hit with on that day. What do you guys think of that statement?
I don't think that's relevant at all. I think with the flop press, if anything, the pressure's going back through your fingers. Like, it's not going to be going into your humerus. Like it. Yeah, I don't see
Levan
that
he
happening.
can break the arm, but he must get a forearm a little bit longer. It's a little bit shorter.
Just remember, Jerry also pulled Cleve Dean back in the day as well. So I mean, he's when it got against mass monsters.
Yeah.
Granted, it wasn't in Cleve's peak, but he's definitely experienced some truly next level power. And I think what a lot of people do is they sleep on Jerry because they know what he's coming with. But how do you get somebody to practice a flop press in practice? So when people get hit with it, they're not expecting what's coming that way. And I think that's kind of what Alex Kadecha realized that day. Now, can Levon be just that much stronger? That is definitely a possibility. That's something we're going to have to find out that day. But I also think that, especially with the travel plans, if you would have said that Jerry had to go to Dubai, I know how Jerry travels. He's not a good traveler. It's not good for him getting on the plane. But with that being said, having Levon getting on this plane, they're not flying him in first class. I'll tell you that. He's sitting coach. He's going to be jammed into
That's
this
gonna be rough.
little seat. I watched Jerry going to Turkey. It's not fun for these dudes. They're so
Traveling zaps you for sure. Look at the event that we were just talking about where Jerry beat Kurdecha. That was here in the U.S. Basically, all the U.S. guys did way better. And then anytime the U.S. guys go overseas, the Eastern guys do way better. So literally, traveling makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Paul, can you tell your story about Jerry being wrecked after the flight?
Oh my God, dude. It was just, it was insane when, so I flew first class over there, and Jerry was in the first row of coach, you know, and he was trying to get himself into first class. He's talking to the guy because that one of the seats was open and all. Well, he was just miserable. I get off the plane and I'm all happy, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even want to get off. I just kept, every time I'd sleep, I'd wake up and have another steak and have another bottle of wine. And now I feel bad, and Jerry's like looking miserable. So now we get to the airport and everything, and you know, he's in a grumpy ass mood, and you know, we now realize we have a 2-hour taxi ride there. Now, mind you, not one person speaks English there at all. There is no, so trying to communicate where you have to go is stressful in itself. So now we get in this tiny little like van, and it was packed with Jerry, his wife, me, Ryan Bowen, and his wife, and you know, we're packed in this little thing, and this was just a trip to get there. It was just torture. But we get to the hotel and everything, and now it's hot as hell in the lobby. It's like 100 degrees. They don't have AC in the main part of the hotel. It's only in the rooms that they have AC. So now we find out there's a couple-hour wait to get our room. He is just, oh my God, he is pissed now. And he keeps going up to the front desk every 15 minutes. And he thinks they understand him if he yells louder and talks slower. And I'm like, Jerry, talking louder and slower does not mean they're going to understand what you're saying. And he is getting pissed. Next thing, he goes and lays out on the couch in the middle of the lobby. And me and his wife are looking like, is he really going to do this? He's just like, I'm going to sleep here. He is miserable. So that's how we started off this whole trip and everything. Then we get to the room, man, and it was not much better. It was like the size of a closet in there. You know, like the AC was, you know, my room wasn't even working with the AC. And one of the guys came in there, and then it smelled like him the rest of my vacay. It was just, it was
Oh my
horrible.
gosh.
Yeah. So, you know, that was what the trip was like. And then all in the hotel. And now they call this a 5-star hotel. It's all cats. There's just cats running around everywhere. Like, you're like, wait, this is a 5-star hotel with cats everywhere. So, you know, it's definitely
the main
you know,
feature.
yeah,
That's cool.
people don't realize how hard of a travel this was. So, you know, this really, I went the proper way, and I just kept saying to myself, even with getting on track with the schedule, I was like, damn, if I had a pull right now, this would not be good. Like it was rough. Like it really, really was. So when you take all that context and all, and a lot of people don't see the behind the scenes with that, I mean, that takes a lot from you. And all I can keep imagine is LeVon have to get jammed in one of these little seats and have to take in a 15, 16-hour trip over there. It's going to be torture. And I mean, it takes a few days just to get on schedule and, you know, trying to find food that you're used to. I mean, that is, you know, an adventure in itself and all. So it really, really matters where it's going down. And knowing that Jerry's going to be on a quick flight, 4 hours to Vegas, you know, I think Jerry has a fighting chance here, bro. And I think LeVon is going to witness what a lot of us witness going all the way over there, you know. So I'm not so sure LeVon's going to just be that indestructible LeVon that day, you know. If he doesn't come like 2 weeks earlier, I think you got to say that Jerry, you know, could pull this off, you know, where if you would have said Dubai, I'd give it like a 90% LeVon chance and Jerry 10. But if you have them come in here, I don't know. I'm thinking 60-40 on Jerry's side right now.
You're right about the travel. That's definitely. I was on a 4-hour flight to Cancun. That was miserable for me.
And 4 hours, bro, 16 hours jammed in
I know. I'm saying, and I'm not even that big.
But you know, I mean, you're a big boy. You kind of understand.
I flew 3 hours to Arizona, and Paul Italia beat me.
Ryan. That's no excuse. Shut up.
I don't know. I don't worry about the travel.
That's the reason I lost.
Yeah, it's different when you're a lot bigger of a person to be able to fit in those seats.
Even going to like events, if I'm going like on a 3-hour road trip, I feel a little tired afterwards, you know.
Yeah.
So I try to get there early.
6 hours, I feel, is like, you know, it's doable. You know, I do that from coast to coast pretty often, and it's like I could handle that. But if you go over that, it really it drags you down. Like it definitely does. Going on that 15, 16-hour trip, that's torture. And then to get there and then not have your room ready, and then your journey kind of just getting started when you get there, because you got to get yourself to this hotel, which is in the middle of nowhere. And you finally get out at the airport and you're all like, finally I'm here, and then to find out you got a couple of hours to go. And it just adds when nobody speaks English, and it's stressful. So
Were there like the cats in the hotel lobby, or like where were these cats?
In the lobby, they were everywhere, brother. Like
Istanbul,
it's a common thing
What
there.
about
I'm
the
finding
dogs?
out.
They escaped from the kitchen.
The dogs are running around the street, and we're talking like those big monster dogs. Like they're like the biggest dogs.
Alibi Kangles.
Those are everywhere, but the cats are there because the rat problem is big, and the cats keep the rats out there. So when you're at a restaurant, you're at a beautiful restaurant, and at the table next to you there's a bunch of cats eating whatever. So that was I sound like I'm like making a big thing out, but it's extreme when you're used to like what we're used to here. Yeah.
Are you sure you were at a restaurant?
The shawarma restaurant is closed.
Yeah. What about the Petrenko's released a story? Devon Larratt said he can't make 105, so their match isn't going to be for the title if he can't make to 105 kg.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I saw that today.
Why can't he make? Or what? Could this be a game? Is this a mental game that he's playing with him?
It could be, very well be. But Ole pretty much said that he'll arm wrestle him regardless. But if it's not at 105, it's not for the title.
That would really suck, man. Do you think that Devon might be really mad with Engen and he could be playing some games here? Because it's kind of looking that way.
Could be.
No way. I don't know.
What's your guys' thoughts on that, man? Because there's been a lot of bickering back and forth, and I'm hearing things in the background that they're not seeing eye to eye with things, and I think Devon brought up the whole legacy hammer. My whole thing was kind of to get under Engen's skin, because
see eye to eye with someone with those fucking eyebrows, dude. Jesus.
I was waiting for that.
But just think about it. The legacy hammer's been out for years. Why did he choose right before his match at East versus West to bring this up? And I know for a fact that they were going back and forth behind the scenes. Do
you think it's also hype for it? You know what I mean?
That could be, but I knowing the players in it, my guess is that they're clashing. Engen's got his set ways, and Devon's one of those that he don't like being told always what to do, and when Engen gets tough with him, we've seen it in the past. They've definitely clashed, and I kept saying to myself, it's a matter of time before these two butt heads. I just think it's happening right now, and I think this could be part of the whole games, or it could be a strategic move by Devon to rattle his opponent. We're not going to pull at that weight class. I'm coming in heavier, and that would kind of disrupt somebody, right? And knowing it's not for a title match, it's definitely going to make Engen mad. Tell you that.
Yeah, I think it's a difference between hyping a match, by doing things to your opponent to try to upset them or whatever. But I don't see Devon as doing like that as a hype thing. I think that it really comes across as unprofessional when you can't make a certain weight class, and I don't see him going, okay, well, the best way to get into my opponent's head is to do something really unprofessional, in terms of the actual match structure. So I think he would play games in a different way.
It's disrespect. It's disrespect from athlete if they say the weight must be this. Doesn't matter how you say agree, you sign on that, you must reach that. Doesn't matter what you eat cucumbers. Eat cucumbers and mushrooms. That's it.
We got a comment. He says they are definitely clashing, but Devon is trolling, saying he was 277 yesterday.
I didn't see that.
Out loud.
No way.
He don't look like he's 277 these days. Yeah, he looked a lot smaller. I would think he would be making that 105. I don't see. I don't know, man. I think he's just getting under everybody's skin, man. I don't know. I think there's something else going on, and I think him and Engen are really, going at it. And I don't know. That's just my guess if he's pulling this weight thing, because I just know how Engen is. And, just like Nadia said, Engen's taking this as a direct personal disrespect to him, so I think it's another way for him to push the buttons. And then my other question is, do you think that, is Engen have the power where he could, kind of disrupt, Devon competing at King of Table or East versus West? Or is it, Devon's too powerful and, he needs him as the money man?
He does. Devon's the number one guy in arm wrestling throughout the world. Everybody knows Devon. He could start his own promotion and be super successful with it. He doesn't need anybody else.
I think Engen he wanna destroy the contract with Devon that way.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find the ways how he can do it, because he thinks his East and West is so powerful right now. Everybody is watching and by pay-per-view interesting about all this. That way he say, "Oh, I don't need a David anymore," and kick him out some way.
I could see that, Nadia. I definitely could see that. I believe that. Drew says, and Devon likes to poke people, like when he was trying to give Engen a stroke, where it talks about adding on under table King's move to rules right after he got out of the hospital. Yeah, he knows that Engen has a hard on with the King's move. He likes to press those buttons. And I'm telling you, I just know Engen and I know Devon, and I just kept saying, how are they getting along? It was like they were in like a bromance for a while, but I just kept saying, I don't see this lasting, man. It's kind of like if Travis and Engen started working together all the time. It's a matter of time before Travis goes and starts messing around and contract somehow. You know what I mean? It's a given.
I don't think that he will actually terminate his contract. Devon's way too popular.
It's just the money they need.
Maybe from the money point, but
but you don't know how much they pay, how much he pay him. You don't know.
30 to 50K is what the word is on the street. That's what I've heard in back channels. Multiple people that have been offered matches with him heard, when you get a match against Devon, you've just hit the jackpot. So I don't want to mention and throw under the bus who's told me that, but I've heard this by multiple people. He's the only one that is getting a paycheck like that. Everybody else is a lot less.
Is it cash?
Devon.
Is it cash?
Devon would be smart. Yeah, it's cash. It's paid in cats. Devon would be smart to do the Jake Paul route or the Floyd Mayweather route and just do things under his own promotional name. Like if he had Devon Lorat Productions or whatever it is, and he ran his own events, he would have all of the profit for himself, get all the control for himself. There would be way more people watching because he's the number one guy. Like he has the ability to. He doesn't need anybody else in the sport to be successful. I'm surprised that he actually hasn't started doing that. I think he's just probably not interested in all of the work that needs to go along with it. But if he was keen on making a huge amount of money, that is definitely the way to do it. It's not working for somebody else. It's doing it your own way.
I agree. And there's a comment in here. It says Devon was 50K for that first King of Table. He's making way more now. Ooh. And I that was the number that I heard as well, and I hear there's a lot of other, money going on in the back scenes, like with the Dubai money as far as bets and all that on matches, so I think there's a lot more going on in the back channels that a lot of people aren't aware of. And, that's why, it kind of makes sense that he's making money like that. I mean, he is everything, I hear that the only chance that they have in being profitable is having Devon on the card. And I think we're kind of seeing that because they're kind of giving him, any match he wants just to have him on. Matches that kind of don't make sense. I think everybody and their mother knew that Leonidas wasn't a good match for Devon left hand, because you got to look at some of the wins that he has with the left hand when he beating guys like Jordan Sonoff. Did anybody think that Leonidas would have a chance against a Jordan Sonoff left hand? And you know what I mean? There's no way, Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's like you were saying. I don't see Devon going anywhere. He's a spirit for so many people. Everywhere I go, when people find out I arm wrestle, they say, "Oh, do you know Devon? Devon this, Devon that."
Yep.
I don't hear people saying Jerry Cataract or anybody else. It's Devon. For the mainstream people I run into. That's my
Even like
approach.
like the non-arm wrestlers,
Right.
that's the only guy. I mean, 10 years ago, the guy that before him was Travis Bajan. That was it. Everybody's like, oh, Travis. Now you don't hear that as much. Now it's Devon. And that's the first thing people always say to me is like, oh, do you know Devon? And the first thing I say to them is like, go type in my name with Devon. And then they get to see the interviews. And now they're looking at me like, holy shit, bro, you were on with Devon and all. So, I mean, Devon is the money maker, bro. He is the Jake Paul of arm wrestling, but he's not, he's also one of the best there is on the planet where, Jake Paul really isn't, but he's also a promotional monster. And maybe that will happen one day with Matt saying, if they really are clashing and all, maybe Devon decides, I could do this myself and starts throwing his own events, which I kind of would like that, man. I think that would kind of be cool, bro. I think that could be something. Somebody would just have to get behind him, like another production company, and wants to do it big scale. But another thing that we got to get worked out is Core Sports. I love Core Sports. I liked the things they did, but I feel like the last couple of productions, there's been too many problems and we're too far in the game for them to be going through these same basic problems. And that's a bad look for arm wrestling. When we get non-arm wrestlers watching it and they want to, we're trying to promote this as like, a professional level sport. And then they see a promotion like that last one, that was disgusting. That got me mad. We had the commentary, didn't even know, they weren't linked up with the referees. We didn't know what was a foul, what was a round that actually went through. They weren't sure with the score. The scoreboard was putting up different numbers than was actually happening. I mean, even at one time, Coach Ray literally was like, yo, I'm going to talk to the referees right now and settle, you know what I mean? And it was like, oh man, this is bad, bro. Like, why is this going on? And we're up to like 14, 15 of those, and we haven't figured that out. So, they got to step up the game and take it a little more serious. I don't know what they need to do to, if it's maybe get some more people that have been around the arm wrestling scene or, but like that whole like black look when you couldn't see anything going on and like you felt like you were in like a middle of a nightclub. And then like you couldn't even see that there was any crowd there, like you felt like there was maybe 20 people in the building and you're like, yo, how is this a top promotion? And it's looking like this. It was a bad look. And I was waiting for some sort of remedy. A couple people were saying like, they were going to give something back or give half of your money back for the pay-per-view, but to be charging what they're charging and then to put a show on like that, I think the arm wrestlers like felt like they got spit in the face. Like they were pissed off. And then I don't know any non-arm wrestler that would have been able to watch and even knew what the hell was going on.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good show at all, and I did feel ripped off. We've got the conversion into Australian dollars, so it was almost $40 for me, and I was just skipping through, and I was like, man, this I feel like I've just wasted my money. Like this, when you got one round that takes 14 minutes and there's like 6-7 restarts in there, then they strap, and then the guys are walking off and getting chalk, and then like sitting down in between like flips and stuff like that. I'm like, what is happening? Where is the arm wrestling part in here?
Yeah, we can't have stuff like going on like that. And I'm watching now smaller promotions coming out, putting on a better production, and that that shouldn't be happening. You're thinking like the top stage, they'd be dropping the top dollar and really giving you a good product, and it's just a big disappointment. And then when it's the same issues over and over that you guys haven't cared to fix, that's where it's like, come on, guys, you know what I mean? And you're hurting arm wrestling as a sport. If we're at the beginning and that's your first one or two event, I get it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of problems you got to iron out, a lot of things you're not expecting. And, I get it. But when you're 14, 15 in, that shouldn't happen. It's just hurting us all with doing that. But with that being said, I'm looking forward to all the events that we got coming up. We got you guys are going to be doing it at the M spot. So everybody tune in October 24th to the 26th. We'll get to see the whole lead up, the jacuzzi parties, all the naughty talk going at 2, 3 a.m. and all. And then October 26th, we actually have the super matches. Can't wait for that. And then we got the AWE That is going to be going on October 27th in Australia, but they're going to do the fine tune and edit before they put that out, which will be out within hours after the event. And really, really looking forward to that as well. And guys, I just want to say to everybody in the chat, everybody that joined in today, I had a lot of fun tonight. I kind of liked having everybody come in, join in these conversation, and I think we got a lot of great talk. Like the whole plan with all of us doing our own part of promoting, talking to the local gyms, the local schools, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, local media, all great ideas. And this is like constructive, positive things moving in the right direction for our sport. So definitely encourage more of this. And I think I'm going to keep this show going. I might do this every Sunday night and, just kind of have that hour and all. So we have Friday night. We got the 98 when, you guys, we always got that going. Everybody comes and we go on for like 8 to 10 hours and, just shoot the shit. And then, Sunday night, right before the work week and everything, we got another hangout hour, which, I think is really cool. So thank you guys all coming on tonight. Really appreciate. If you guys haven't already, just hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. I'd really appreciate getting back in the algorithm. And thank you again.
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Have a great night, everybody.
You guys. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Screw Matt Connolly.